Good job today, man. One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Good evening, everybody. Let's talk Jets. August 24th, 2 preseason games down. One on Friday night that made everybody pretty inspired and encouraged and excited. Bubs, what a difference a week makes. How you doing, man?
It's a 3 days late victory Monday, I guess. Victory Friday, victory weekend, victory Monday, whatever you want to call it. Jets win. First winning show of the year. I'm doing good. Hopefully everyone in the chat's doing well. 20 days away. Yesterday was officially the 3-week mark from week number 1. Friday was a lot of fun, even though it's preseason. Shutout to shutout. First team offense looked good. March up and down the field. We're completing passes to Dylan Parham. We talk about spreading the ball around. We got everybody involved. So we found our next Lawrence Taylor, Nate Lynn. There he is. So no, ready to roll. All seriousness, though. Good game on Friday night. Saw a lot of positives. You hope that can carry into the regular season. And yeah, looking forward to the show tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover, man. And, you know, it's like the injury list is getting a little bit shorter, which is encouraging. Unfortunately, Sadiq is still out. DeAngelo Ponds is still out. But Sweat's back. Osai's back. Breece Hall looks unscheduled for week 1. So it's like injuries at this point in training camp are not a big factor for the team, to me, which is encouraging, man, because usually you had that one big debilitating injury. You're like, oh, man, this is going to set us back. The Jets right now are cruising, man. Like, get through the third preseason game, and let's get to week 1.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's good to see the positive injury updates. We were kind of there a few week stretch where it was a lot of negative updates. You had the Sadiq injury, setback, I should say, early on. Ponds, of course, with the calf injury early on. You had Davis go down about a week or 2 into camp with the knee. But you get the announcement today from Glenn that all those guys seem to be on path, ready to go for week number 1, which is all that matters at this point. Preseason, 1 more game left. Just get through that healthy. And then it's full eyes ahead to the Titans in the regular season. And to see that Davis, Sadiq, Ponds, Breece was out there today working on the side field, to see that those guys are on their way back on schedule is good. And plus, you see guys like Joseph Asai, Tavondre Sweat, all back, full participants at practice. Even guys like Nashawn Wright back to being limited after being banged up for a little bit of time there. So Jets getting healthy at the right time. And all overall, like, especially when you see, you know, the awful stuff with Genti, I think we're still kind of waiting on updates there, but the Jets avoided, knock on wood, that major blow. We had that scare for a few minutes when we saw Breece and non-contact in the same sentence. But outside of that, we've been pretty injury-free from a severe season-ending standpoint. You know, Ponds and Sadiq, you want those guys out there, and they've certainly missed a lot of quality reps, which is unfortunate, but 2 guys that at least are going to be ready to go in the regular season and not miss any time. Yeah,
so you go into Friday night, you're like, all right, Geno Smith's going to start. What are we going to see out of this offense? A lot of anticipation. And I'm sitting there watching a game like, please just don't screw it up. Don't give the media any reason to be mad. Don't get the fans. Like, just give us quality football so we can all move on and be excited about week 1. And to me, Geno Smith, understanding preseason game number 2, vanilla play calling, all this other stuff, completely made you feel comfortable. Like, he looked poised, in control, arm strength, mobile, spread the ball around, march down the field, 7-7, touchdown Jelani Woods, and you're like, that's what we wanted to see. Then it gives you that little bit of encouragement, like, all right, Frank Reich knows what he's doing. Geno Smith knows this offense. We have playmakers. We have diverse play calling. It was like we can exhale for a week and be like, all right, this is not as bad as it could be. Like we have momentum now. Now we can all be like, you know what? Maybe get a little confidence here going against the Titans. Like maybe we got something here.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see, especially after, you know, the sore ankle that he was dealing with that sidelined him against Tampa. the few practices last week, there were some struggles there to the point where Klubnik got a few first-team reps, and there was portions of the fan base. We had that like 24-hour stretch of, can Klubnik be the starter? Connor Hughes had that report, and then a little birdie with the Jets must have told him, hey, Gino's the starter. He then had to like follow up a few hours later and say, no, he's the starter. Gino's the guy. So we kind of had that little bit of a stretch there where there was some Klubnik starting week 1 conversations, which if you've watched and you've seen how they've operated, that was never going to happen. But you know how it is, overreactions. This is the time of year for that. So it was good to see Gino go out there and kind of quiet a little bit of that. And look, I get it. It's the preseason, and in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. But it's good to see because it's a hell of a lot better than him going out there and going 1 of 8 with an interception and 2 drives that end in a turnover and a punt. But
to that point, though,
there was reacting.
There was a group of a portion of this fan base, for being honest, that wanted to see him go 2 of 8 and be like, I told you so. He sucks. And then we're like, hey, it's only a preseason. So only a preseason goes both ways, when he plays well or when he plays poorly. But there was a people that were ready to overreact, and they couldn't because they looked so good. And it's like, in the most encouraging part of all this was it's just his control of the offense, spreading it around, and you got a glimpse of all the playmakers the Jets have. And we've been all talking about like, oh, you guys are overrating this and fanboying that. They have talent all throughout the offense, and it's young playmakers, older, like veteran guys, but it looks smooth. Like Mason Taylor poised for a big year too. Garrett Wilson, Pro Bowl caliber receiver. Omar Cooper Jr. finding his way. It's all these things. You're like, man, it's not an illusion. This can actually happen. I'm not saying a playoff team, but they can be competitive on offense.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I think you're hit the nail on the head in terms of utilizing all the weapons. And it's important to note, too, this was without Brees and this was without Kenyon Sadiq. And it was against a good chunk of the Pittsburgh Steelers starters. This isn't a situation like they would have been in last week against Tampa where he faced a bunch of second and third teamers. While not all of Pittsburgh's starters were out there, a good chunk of them were. And they marched right down the field and looked prepared, looked ready to go, looked smooth. It was a smooth operation, and they did it without Sadiq and Brees, but guys that filled in 5 different completions to Garrett, A.D. Mitchell, Braylon Allen, Mason Taylor, Jelani Woods for the touchdown. You want to throw Parham in there, 6th completion as well, but a perfect 7 for 7, 10 plays, 69 yards right down the field. You had the 3rd down and long completion to Garrett, which is now back-to-back weeks where they've had the 3rd and long completion. There was the other 3rd and 6th completion to Garrett. So both of Garrett's completions came on 3rd down. That's been something that stood out to me even last week with Klubnik, where he had 2 3rd down completions, the one to Garrett, the one to Mason Taylor. 3rd down efficiency with this team is key. Being able to survive a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 situation and move the chains, obviously even short situations as well, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, where you're not 3 and out, 3rd down hits, and this team just crumbles. Being able to convert twice on 3rd down during that drive, one of those or both of those to Garrett, I thought was really good. That one route by Garrett was just phenomenal. Yep. Just that's what he does. So all really good stuff. And then Jelani Woods, it was nice to see him showcase that in a game. Last week only had 1 catch for 2 yards, I believe it was, on 2 targets, so didn't do a whole lot. But it was good to see him go out there and make a big play in a game after everything we've heard with him in practice so far this summer. So it was all in all a very positive drive, a very positive 10-play stretch.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, A.D. Mitchell, so you're seeing the potential of explosive plays, but also you're seeing it like a well-schemed offense, like a functional, competent NFL offense. Like, wait a minute, this guy's actually open in this offense. They can actually run routes here. They can actually throw to a space now, throw to a spot, and the receiver is going to be there. It's like we're almost becoming like an NFL team. Like it's so nice to see. While it's even in the preseason, we got to remember how bad we were last year. So it's like there's some steps being moved here. Like this ship may indeed be turning slowly, but it's definitely turning with better coaching, better athletes, and better depth. So you're encouraged by the first string offense. Second string, Klubnik comes in. And if there is any kind of concern for me, it's the offensive line behind the starters is shaky as hell, man. These guys looked lost, dazed, confused, overwhelmed. Max Mitchell, Okorafor, Xavier Newman. But then you're like, all right, maybe that's as a unit. If you have to plug and play one of them, maybe they'll be okay. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets make some moves once the cuts come down to maybe try to upgrade the interior offensive line, because behind the starters, man, it gets ugly. But Klubnik did look poised. He looked comfortable. And I think his next step of his game is going to be getting past the short routes and stretching the field and going downfield a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. The backups for this offensive line, the interior of this offensive line depth specifically, there's a lot of concerns there. We've talked about that a lot as a position where they could potentially look to add at the end of roster cuts where you get the waiver claims. You always get those trades that we saw last year with Muji, make two of those in Phillips and Briggs. It feels like this year you can kind of find two of those trades, except on the offensive line as opposed to defensive line, where you bring in two interior depth pieces, because at times it was tough to gauge Klubnik's performance because he was running for his life. I mean, 100%. One of the best plays of the night from Klubnik was the 16-yard scramble that he had, but that's not what you want out of your rookie quarterback. You want to see what he looks like in clean pockets, time to throw, and you saw some of that last week behind the starting offensive line. You were hoping to see some of that this week. You didn't really see that, but yeah, I'm right there with you. Stretching the ball downfield a little bit more, taking a few more deep shots. I hope this week, I don't expect the starters to play, but I hope this week with Klubnik, give him 3 quarters. Honestly, he could play the full game for all I care. There's no sense in throwing Zappe and Cook out there. Take some chances, take some risks. I'm right there with you. Open things up, be a little bit more risky with him in the 3rd preseason game, where this is kind of his final opportunity to see the field until if there's an opportunity or a situation that occurs in the regular season.
Yeah, 100%. I play him as much as possible Friday night. Again, like you saw his legs, you see his mobility, you see that. And there's a lot of, he's got a lot of learning to do. I know, I know Ian talked about his eyes and seeing the plays open up and how his progressions. And this is all because he's a work in progress. He's not a completed package. And to me, if I'm being honest, I would still feel comfortable having a veteran between Geno and Klubnik. The Jets don't go that route. Okay. A lot of risk associated with that, because I think we've seen this team could be very competitive week in and week out. I don't want to mail in a game because we have a good backup quarterback and Klubnik's overwhelmed and over his head. At the same time, I don't want to ruin Klubnik's confidence by throwing him to a spot that he's not ready for. So I'm curious to see how the Jets handle this going forward, but play him a lot Friday night, dude. Play him 3 quarters. I don't care. I'm glad he played 2 quarters on this past week. Like, that's the way you do it. He came out after the half. Like, all right, give this kid time to just get used to the flow of the NFL, get hit, learn the speed of the game, learn the offense, and that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. The more opportunities that he gets, the more reps that he gets, the better. Whether first team, second team, third team, just have him out there. Throw him out there. Let him get all the experience. Let him get all the opportunities on top of what he's been able to get already in the first 2 preseason games. And I'm right there with you in terms of would still like to see another veteran backup. We've been on that train for a while. It seems as if the Jets aren't going to do that at this point. I guess we'll see where things stand this time next week once roster cuts are done. But it feels like that QB2 job is all his, and you want him to get as many opportunities as possible now in the event that a regular season situation occurs at any point across the year.
And now the one interesting thing is if you look at the wide receiver group, which is much upgraded as opposed to years past in terms of depth. You got Garrett Wilson, you got A.D. Mitchell, you got Omar Cooper Jr., Isaiah Williams, Tim Patrick. The one interesting thing is you've been kind of waiting for this Arian Smith breakout play. Like, just give us a play other than special teams to show what you can do. You have a guy in Junior Bergen who's been here all about 10 minutes, catches a screen pass, takes off, makes a big play. He has returns, he makes plays. It's like, to me, I'm really curious to see how the Jets go in terms of how many receivers they keep. They keep 5 or 6. If you want to keep 4 tight ends, keep 5 wide receivers. I'm cool with it, but I don't know really how you justify keeping Arian Smith as primarily just a gunner when you seem to have a lot of other guys on this team that are quality special teams players as well. So is it they're keeping Smith because he's a pick that you took a chance on that's going to blow up on your face? Or, like, to me, it seems like everybody else makes that play and you have yet to see it from Smith. Am I missing something here? No.
Junior Bergen showed more in one play than Arian Smith has in a year and a half. He had 44 yards on that screen pass. Arian Smith last year had 52 yards the entire season from a receiving standpoint. He almost had more yards on one play than Arian Smith did. He showed you more on one play than Arian Smith has in his entire year and a half as a Jet, going back to April of 2025 when the Jets put the pick in for him, on day 3 of that draft. I don't see it at all with Arian Smith. No. We've talked about this a ton, and I mean, we see eye to eye with this. I think 99% of the Jet fan base, I haven't seen anybody view Arian Smith as a positive for this football team from a fan's perspective. I don't see any value with him. I know that they like him from a special team standpoint. Banjo's gone out of his way multiple times, specifically earlier in the offseason, to praise him from a gunner standpoint. But he doesn't do he hasn't done anything. And again, this is not a surprise. Like, I think that's too what we have to factor in with the Arian Smith conversation. This isn't like
advertised.
Yeah, he's as advertised. That's exactly it. This isn't like this isn't like Omar Cooper Jr., let's say, or not even to throw his name out there. We draft the guy in the first round that has a really bad first year, and in the second year doesn't look great. But you know what? He was still a first round pick. You still hope that it's in there somewhere. That's not even the case with Arian Smith.
No.
Arian Smith was a universal question pick from the moment he was drafted. Everybody had him as a UDFA. At earliest, a 7th round pick that the Jets took in the 4th round. Nobody liked the pick in the moment. This isn't a surprise what we're seeing out of him. This isn't like a first round wide receiver. It's a good point. First round wide receiver that you're banking on. You know what? It's only year 2. Yeah. There's got to be something in here. Let's keep him on the team and hope that we get something out of him. He's just not good. He wasn't very good in college. The moment you drafted him, it was an extreme reach. Shocker, he's not any good in the NFL. Nothing's going to change at this point. And to your point, I think some of it might have to do with, well, Tyler Barron's probably going to be on long-term IR. He's going to be on IR. He's going to be shut down for the season. If he wasn't on IR, he'd be cut. Malachi Moore has had as bad as a summer as you can have in terms of taking a year 2 jump. He's shown no reason to believe that's going to happen this season. And then Kiko Maui-Noah, I don't think there's a ton there.
I think Glenn likes him though. But yeah, I mean, just to your point though. Yeah. But you can't as a head coach preach accountability, competition, all these things. Oh, by the way, you made a team based on what? So it's like you've got to get real creative with what you do with Arian Smith. But I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on it. But that's something that I noticed. The wide receiver room and how they handle roster cuts. The final 53 is gonna be really interesting. But if we're gonna talk about anything, Bubs, we've got to talk about the embattled head coach, the embattled defensive coordinator, and the defense, which we're like, Aaron Glenn's job is pinned on this defense. It's his superpower. He's going to show us he can do. Steve Wilkes was the scapegoat. I got to admit, dude, we saw something on Friday night. Not saying the preseason means anything. That's the caveat all night long. They were swarming to the ball. They looked prepared. They looked aggressive. They looked physical. They looked well coached. Looking back for the ball in corners, 2 interceptions, but it just seemed different. Now, that difference could be a lot more talent. Could be the coaching, could be a variety, new leadership in Demario Davis, Minka Fitzpatrick, everything else. This Jets defense definitely looked different, and Aaron Glenn's blueprints are all over it. And every player to a man said it's due to his intensity, his coaching style, his level of detail, his level of preparation. So as much as we want to criticize him, and we have a long time this entire offseason, for one night you're seeing glimpses of what this defense could be, and it's awesome, dude. I was like, give me more of this week in and week out. We know there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be some learning curves. You're going to make mistakes, but that's an excellent start for Aaron Glenn's defense.
Yeah, I mean, Glenn is going down with this defense. This is his unit. If it works out, if they have an improved season and this team wins football games, he's going to be back. If it doesn't and the defense is a big part of that, Glenn's out the door. And the minute that was the case was the minute he took over as the defensive play caller. He's going down with the ship, as we've kind of used that phrase many, many times. And they looked good on Friday, and they've looked good,
dude. They looked different. They did. They had swag to them, but they looked like they were prepared, looking back for the ball, and they were like a unit. They were a cohesive unit for once. Yeah, 2 interceptions. I haven't seen that in a very long time. One we just wanted. We got 2, doubled the total from last season. But yeah, they looked, and even when the backups came in, they looked really good, to the point where it was obviously a complete shutout. Starting defense played a little bit longer too than the starting offense, and I saw something earlier today. They're the highest graded defense 2 weeks in. And I get it. It's preseason. I understand they haven't faced up against the starters from Pittsburgh, or a few of the starters are out there for Pittsburgh, but obviously the starting quarterbacks for either Pittsburgh, it wasn't Rodgers, and obviously Baker Mayfield last week. But you've seen good things, and you've seen what they're supposed to do against, some of these second team offenses, backup quarterbacks, where they've looked dominant at points. David Bailey completely destroyed Broderick Jones. That's always a good sight to see. Remember those conversations between Will McDonald and Broderick Jones?
he goes out there and just has a dominant rep there, which was awesome. We've seen everything so far in training camp and the joint practices. You wanted to see it in the game. He was able to do that. The secondary, Dane Belton was flying around. He was playing with the starters. That needs to continue.
Before you go in, we'll just go position group by position group.
Yeah.
The defensive line, right off the bat, where you get David Bailey, number 2 pick in the draft. You hear about this phenomenal training camp. You hear about the players all talking about this guy can do this guy can do that. You literally saw it. You're like, dude, that step off the edge like that just blew past Broderick Jones like he was sitting still. Where it's like, and this is just a glimmer of him, dude. Like, he's going to get better under Carl Dunbar as he figures out the NFL and just enhances his skill set. But they haven't had a guy like that since who? I mean, I can go back to John Abraham. We were hoping Jermaine Johnson was that. We were hoping all these guys were that, but then never really came to fruition. This guy's legit that speed guy. That's like Will McDonald is a speed guy, but he doesn't have he's putting on that size. Bailey's got some size to him too, man.
Yeah, he's got the athleticism. He's got the speed. He's kind of got that bull rush ability. He's got the strength. He is much more of a complete player from like a build size standpoint than Will McDonald. That's been one of the issues with Will McDonald throughout his career here, where he's kind of been on the smaller size, the thinner size of things in terms of stopping the run. That's been a bit of an issue for them. He's been streaky as a pass rusher, but Bailey, he looks the part, right? Bailey has been, if you asked a Jet fan at the beginning of this offseason, and it doesn't mean that he's going to be a Hall of Famer, it doesn't mean that he's the next great pass rusher, but if you ask Jet fans at the beginning of the offseason what you would want to see out of David Bailey this summer and in the preseason, I think every Jet fan would have signed up for exactly this. I think this has exceeded expectations 100%. To the point where I think we mentioned this a few weeks ago. You've got guys like Costello, Samini, who never go out of their way to praise the Jets, talk highly of prospects. I mean, Costello is going out of his way to say this guy looks totally different. This guy is legit. And that's what you want to see out of your pass rusher. Like, if he's the real deal, you take him number 2 overall, the highest in franchise history. He needs to look and dominate. And he hasn't been good. He hasn't been solid. He has been dominant. And you saw it on that rep. And it's exciting. It's really exciting to see what he can do, because that's what you wanted to see going into camp out of the number 2 overall pick was dominance. And you've seen that from him.
Well, and the other telling sign is, like, I watch all the player interviews. I'm always curious to see what they say on the sidebars. And they all talk about his relentless work ethic, like his commitment to the game. He wants to improve. He loves the game of football. He's all about it, man. Film study. I'm like, all right. So he's not like a prima donna number 2 pick where he's like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to walk into my accolades, just show up and get 10 sacks. Like, this kid wants to earn it. And he's earning the respect of the veterans. Like Tavondre Sweat's like, dude, this kid's legit. Harrison Phillips, like Minka Fitzpatrick, they're all saying, like, listen, this kid's special. They say the same thing about Membu, but for Bailey to come in like this after 3 weeks of training camp, and they're like, dude, this kid's got something here. It's exciting because it's a dynamic changer for your defense. If you have a guy off the edge, he has to be held accountable. Like, they have to account for him at all times, double team him. It opens things up in the middle, opens things up for Will McDonald and whatever else. Aaron Glenn can get exotic blitzes. He can do all kinds of stuff. And it's a game-changing player the Jets need. So early on, the results are awesome. The defensive line has so much potential now with Osai coming back, Sweat coming back. Like, it gets really, really interesting defensively, especially if Aaron Glenn has these guys chomping at the bit. Like, they have an edge to them, man. Like, they have some swag. They're playing physical. They're playing nasty. They're playing aggressive. Things we all wanted them to do over the last 4 or 5 years. The Jets were all bark, no bite. This team's going to have some bite to them, man.
Yeah, I mean, you even saw that kind of impact from Bailey in terms of getting other guys involved, if you will, or his presence opens up the door for an Osai, opens up the door for interior guys. To your point, Will McDonald, you saw that a little bit in the first preseason game against Tampa, where they had the stunt. They were focused on Bailey, and McDonald got home for the sack, and Bailey was a part of that. That's the type of impact, even if he's not filling up the stat sheet, because that technically doesn't go into the stat sheet, right? That's more of just a play that helps somebody else, but it's the kind of the stuff that goes unseen. That's also what he can bring to the table too, on top of the gaudy sack numbers, the pressures, the hits, all of those things. And you've seen all that stuff so far. So there's a lot to like. And I'm glad you brought up some of the comments from the players, because a lot of these leaders on this team, you mentioned Phillips, you mentioned Sweat, even DeMario Davis went out of his way a few weeks ago to talk about how he's been around a lot of rookies. And like you were saying, Tyson, there's sometimes those rookies that come in with that attitude of everything they accomplished in college. They're still kind of reflecting on that. They're like, I've accomplished so much. And it's like, dude, you've never played a game in the NFL. Like, pump your brakes.
Yeah.
Bailey has been the opposite of that, where Demario Davis went out of his way, and you talk about a guy that's seen as many rookies, has been around as many rookies as anybody. He is certainly up there just with his experience and his track record in the NFL and the years that he's put on. That for him to say something like that about Bailey is really good. And I think a lot of that goes back to we talked about this during the draft process a little bit. Very smart kid. I mean, he's a Stanford kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders just from a football smarts perspective, but even as he carries himself, and even the way he talks too. I know press conferences aren't the end all be all, but he carries himself very maturely. So it's been good to see.
Yeah, and the other thing too is you look at defensive line, you have all the tackles, you have and then out of nowhere comes this guy Nate Lynn, and you're like, they signed him like, all right, Aaron Glenn Newton from the Lions, but dude, explosive off the edge, again, relentless motor. I'm like, all right, even if he's a practice squad, like it just seems like Glenn knows what he wants for his defense, so he's clearly handpicking all these guys. But like the defense is actually fun to watch. Like, dude, they can't stop these guys. Even McGregor's getting a lot of pressure, but like Nate Lynn had nowhere, 2 sacks. It's like the defense is fun, and they're all enjoying it. They're all pulling for each other, and it's like becoming like so many years in the past. Preseason was a mess on defense. You took the starters out; they couldn't tackle, they couldn't find the ball. They were just running around circles, running into each other like a circus, a bunch of clowns. Dude, looks so much different. It's like, all right, we got a whole new element here.
Yeah. Oh, it's Nate Lynn is him and Junior Burgeon, 2 guys that they brought in early in the week, both go out there and make big time plays. So yeah, it was good to see Nate Lynn do that. We'll see if he has anything in store for an encore this week. David Bailey, Nate Lynn, maybe the great 1-2 punch for the next decade with this franchise. But I mean, it was good to see. And I think that's something too that stuck out with the defense was it was all 3-4 units from the starters on down. Nate Lynn made some plays. Even Chase Wilson made some plays too from a linebacker standpoint. Jordan Clark continues to fly around. He's had
so going to that. So you're flying through the positions here, man. You're killing me. So we go through linebacker. To me is still a work in progress. Where Chase Wilson's there, but Mike Walker's banged up. Mount Noah's coming back, but I'm like, all right, if you want to make a spot there, it's like okay, you can make a move, fine. Safety position is really interesting to me because Cisco had the interception, which I think Cisco is an Aaron Glenn guy where I think they're going to find the role for him as maybe like a center fielder or a spy, kind of roaming around being the ball hawk guy. But Belton is really coming on where Belton's a playmaker on special teams and defense making tackles. To me, I think Jordan Clark has been better than anybody else other than those guys. Like I think he's beaten out Malachi Moore. So to me, it's like you have Belton, you have Fitzpatrick. But dude, Jordan Clark seems like he's always around the ball making plays, always, as opposed to Malachi Moore, who looks like he's in the area somehow, but he's not doing anything.
Yeah, Malachi Moore has been just disappointing, very puzzling because I thought he showed you some good things last year. There was some ugly as well, but that comes with being a 4th-round rookie who kind of got thrusted into a starting role because the safety room was so poor, plus the Cisco injury. But he got some starting experience and he played all 17 games and there was some things to like, but he has just come into this camp and has been invisible. And Jordan Clark, to your point, Tyson, he just flies around. He's always around the football. It feels like he's got a nose for the football. Plays with a lot of speed, good sideline speed, can kind of do a little bit of both, play corner and some safety as well. He had the pass breakup against Pittsburgh, was flying around against Tampa. Like he's always somebody you notice. And I'll even throw, he kind of is like, even Jarius Monroe is always another one too. Yeah, he's always the last 2 years, even going back to Saleh 2024 as a guy that flies around, doesn't usually make the team, but somebody that flies around, kind of similar with Jordan Clark, flies around. I still don't think he makes the roster, but definitely somebody to keep an eye on for the practice squad. And maybe at some point plays a role from a depth standpoint on this football team because Malachi Moore right now is clearly low in the pecking order in terms of how they value him in the safety room. And that's saying something because entering camp, it was a competition. The door was open for Malachi Moore to take the starting safety job while we all looked at Dane Belton and Cisco being the favorites. Malachi Moore had an opportunity, and to say that he has completely swung and missed is an understatement. And I'm very curious, and I know we obviously don't know this, I'm very curious what VJ Payne would look like if he was healthy.
Yeah,
because I think that would really throw even more on the Malachi Moore conversation. Because if VJ Payne was flying around and making plays, then you really it gets interesting with Moore at that point. But unfortunately, of course, Payne with the injury, has missed all this time.
Yeah, I mean, you got Sam Womack had an interception. I think
Yeah,
Trey
Womack.
Brown was like running around, and you have
Yep.
the whole AZ Thomas, Nashawn Wright competition at secondary. So I think the secondary is still a work in progress. They have some pieces. They got to get them all healthy first. But safety is very interesting, man, where you make the argument about Aaron Smith not making a team. You can make an argument. Malachi Moore can be on the hot seat too, because I know he's a Glenn guy, but it's like it's not really seeing it. If, again, what is it about? Is it about results, earning it? What has he earned over a guy like Jordan Clark? I mean, Dane Belton blew right past him. So going to be really interesting there. Special teams, I will say this. I think the Jets kicker is not on the team right now. I don't think so. They have, both had a bad practice again today. Way too inconsistent where you need somebody more reliable at this point. I think Sanders was actually worse than Cade York today. So it's like, all right, well, that's a curveball. So I'm guessing, I mean, what do you think? But I think there's going to be somebody that's not here right now.
Yeah, it felt like last week we were headed towards Jason Sanders running away with the battle over Cade York, and now we're at the point where they just both stink. You kind of had Cade York in the first preseason game against Tampa have that almost miss, but then they said he made it. Sanders looked fine, and then this week you had the shank by York on the 59 yards before halftime. Sanders made his kick, but today was awful. I mean, York went 3 of 5, Sanders went 2 of 5. That's 5 of 10 combined. At the beginning of camp, it's funny because it felt like this was a close competition because they were both kicking well. Like Cade York, to me, was kicking a lot better than I thought he would. I thought Sanders was going to run away with this thing. And now it's at the point over the last week and a half where it's close because they both can't kick.
Yep, exactly.
They're both struggling now. So I'm starting to kind of side with that side of the argument too, where I don't know. I think after roster cuts, they get another body in here.
They're going to have to. And
Sanders and York, neither of them are this week 1 kicker, or they have another body that comes in. They continue to compete out kind of next week because they still have those few practices before like the mandatory day off, go into the practice week, continue to compete. And then we'll see what happens kind of come game day against the Titans. I could see it being that type of scenario.
You know what I don't want to see though? And this is being first thinking this. Like we talked about this, about the entire training camp. This Jets team should be competitive week in and week out. The offense with Geno Smith should be much improved. The defense flying around, a lot more exciting. They have a potential to beat a lot of close games. Do not get too cute and conservative and frugal at kicker and be like, we'll be fine with Jason Sanders and lose close games because your kicker blows. Like, don't do that. Like, this is first guessing it now. We're saying it's a legit concern. Don't be like, I think we'll be okay. No. Fuck that. Don't think about it. Get better there because they're not the answer. Like, it's odd. Like, with kickers, you could tell, dude. Like, we've seen so many bad kickers in our time here that we know it's like, if you're not consistent, you're not going to work here, especially in this market. So I hope they don't get too cute with that, man.
Yeah, no, it's got to be, if they don't feel Sanders and York, and kicker's one of those positions where it doesn't take much to see if a guy's got it or not. The fans can see it. I always remember 24, Zerline was missing kicks in camp that year. He even missed, too. I think, preseason he was missing kicks. And even in that Thursday night game against New England, while they blew him out, I think he missed the extra point. He missed the field goal. And it got covered up because they were 2-1. They blew out the Patriots. And, the Jets just kind of let it go away. And then sure enough, as the weeks went on, it came back to bite them really badly. And that's the last thing you want here, especially to your point. The last thing this coaching staff needs is any type of excuse. Oh, well, if we had a competent kicker, we would have won these 3 games.
I hate that.
If you don't have a competent kicker, that's your fault. That's a reason to be fired if you're a 4-win team because you had 3 games that you blew because you couldn't make kicks. That's your fault from mishandling it in the offseason. And I saw it in the chat. I think Job had put it in there. Mevis, hindsight 2020, I guess they could have kept Mevis and then he would have been the long-term guy. Yeah. But I look at Mevis and kind of have like a silver lining on that because Mevis was somebody that the Rams picked up halfway through the year. So, Mevis was cut by the Jets. Rams picked him up, and then he's now their guy. In a perfect world, the Jets kind of go through that now where they find that version of Mevis, like somebody that gets cut, they bring him in and he works out. So that's, I guess, like the silver lining, the hopeful nature of this kicking competition, where even if Sanders and York don't work out and neither of them are the week 1 kickers, by this time next week, they have another body in here. And in a perfect world, that can kind of be like the Rams version of Mevis.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Kicker, I think, is to be determined. The Jets, in terms of returners, have a ton of them. It seems like you have Isaiah Williams, Wangu, then you have friggin' Junior Bergen look good, Jamal Pritchett look good. It seems like anybody they put back there looks fluid, looks fast, dynamic. So it's like, okay, you feel comfortable there where it's like Banjo's doing a hell of a job and they're doing a good job of getting talent here. And I think overall, you're looking at the overall depth on this team, not calling it a playoff team, but they have more talent this year. They look more explosive, more playmakers, more physical. They're faster. So it's like there's definitely pieces here to build on. We're like, all right, this can be an interesting season where 6 or 7 wins isn't outlandish. Like they're like, you're eliminating a lot of excuses now based on what you're bringing to the field.
Yeah, they've got talent. They've got depth. Some spots you could look at depth-wise could upgrade. Interior offensive line, third linebacker, backup quarterback's been a hot topic. But a lot of these guys, too, have stepped up. Some of these depth pieces have stepped up. Guys along the interior of the defensive line have looked really good. Dane Belton, somebody that certainly emerged here. A.Z. Thomas is somebody that feels like is taking over that CB2 job over Nahshon Wright. And you look at Nahshon Wright as a solid, third cornerback, essentially third boundary cornerback, backup depth piece there with playmaking ability. So there's a lot to like. And again, I go back to what I said earlier. That drive with Geno and this preseason in general was done without Breece and Sadiq. We haven't even seen Sadiq yet. That's another name to throw in the mix as well. So, and Pons too. We haven't really seen
your true
either.
Playbook. Like this is like your vanilla, because the one thing the Jets have right now is the element of surprise. They can go against the Titans, and the Titans have absolutely no idea what to expect from them on offense or defense. So why show any of it now in preseason? No need to, but you're showing motion, you're showing rhythm, you're showing schemes, which is very rare for this team. Never really had that before. So, but before we go, we got a lot of callers. Holy cow. But before we go into this, do you think the starters should play Friday night versus the Giants?
I would. Like, I don't see an issue with it. I don't think they do. But I would. Like, I don't, a drive or two for a dress rehearsal, I'm always on board with them playing, but I don't think they will. Yeah,
I would do one series again. Wouldn't bother me one bit. You figure it's still a new offense. You're still trying to get used to everything. As good as everything looked Friday night, I don't think one more would hurt you. But that's again, you're worried about injuries and whatever else. But then Aaron Glenn says in all his press conferences, you can't worry about injuries. This is the tough part of camp. And according to his press conference today, tomorrow is one of the hardest practices they're going to have. So I guess it'll be full pads. That's going to be really interesting to see how they come out of that. Hopefully no injuries.
Yeah, tomorrow seems to be kind of the last, big, heavy rep day from a practice standpoint. Then they'll have off Wednesday, Thursday, game Friday. But I always approach the off-season or preseason, rather, because they did this last year. They played 2 of the 3 games. The first 2 games starters play, and then they sat them against the Eagles in the final week. They were obviously planning on playing Geno against Tampa. All the starters played Tampa. And then week 2, Geno played, starters played again. So maybe they look and say, well, all the starters already got 2 games under their boat. Geno only got 1. He looked fine, and they don't roll with it. But I'm still in the boat of just give Geno 2 games because he's only had 1 game, right? They obviously planned to have him have 2 games, but he didn't play against Tampa. So I'd be on board with it, but I don't see it happening, especially if tomorrow, heavy rep day, one of the final days of camp.
That's what
I think they'll probably just run it with Klubnik and say, give him all the reps too.
If they're having that real physical, nasty practice tomorrow, they may say, okay, listen, you guys got through this. We feel comfortable with it. Take Friday off. Let's get ready for the Titans. So now what we do here on this channel is we love talking to the chat. We answer questions in the chat. Every once in a while, you get good questions. A lot of times you get bad questions, and then you get this. Do you think we should trade for Deshaun Watson? Could be a veteran backup. But Random Man knew I was going to react ferociously to this, and he goes, that may be more of a question for Bubs, because Bubs, he thinks you're a nice guy, and you'll answer friendly. So you can answer the question about the rule. You can answer the ridiculous question about Deshaun Watson.
Random Man, I would probably sign you or anybody else in the chat before I traded for Deshaun Watson.
What are we doing?
That's how
here?
I'll approach that.
Jesus Christ. This is like late November when the Jets are like 3-10 kind of questions. What are we doing right now? This is supposed to be a time of happiness. So, my God. What's up, Ollie? How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? How you been?
Where the hell have you been?
Been busy doing my stuff, figured get back into this again.
There you go.
So I'm not focused on individual players right now.
Okay.
Because last season was so traumatizing
with the clown show that was the coaching staff. Let's face it, the number one focus has to be the coaching staff because this is still a rebuild, regardless.
Yep.
And if we go out there with anything close to what we represented last year, nobody is going to want to come here, especially with all these draft picks. Theoretically, you can grab whatever quarterback you want, except that one whose family is known to get involved, regardless of what
Arch
the league
Manning
says that's not going to happen. You can't have it. We can deal with, having the wrong player in a position, but you have to be able to show that we're functioning. And I think that's what we've done.
Yep.
We showed we have a game plan. We can run an offense. Aaron Glenn, for all his awfulness last season, the guy's a defensive coordinator.
Yep.
He is a defensive coordinator. You can see it. You can see how these guys are playing. You can see how they're moving after the ball. Granted, preseason, it was nice to see 2 interceptions. It really was.
It was shocking.
But it was also what we didn't. But it's also what we didn't see. It was, especially since there's so many young guys on the field. The stupid penalties.
Bingo.
The holding. We're getting the ball. Delay a game. We're staying on sides. We're keeping 12 men out of the offensive fucking huddle. Like, I'm still not, seriously. I mean, that's
he even uses timeouts right.
It functions. We have something to present, even if we only end up winning 5-6 games. This is functioning. But I will say this. I don't think there's any chance if that defense is anything close to what we saw, Glenn loses his job.
Nope. I don't think
because let's face this year. Because let's face it, we already have basically Frank Reich and him as co-head coaches. On paper, I think Glenn has say so, but he's running the offense, and the offense was such a freak show last year. I mean, how many games did we sit here not even understanding what they were even trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
So Gino looked good. The guys there was no real other than Cook. I don't even understand why we even put him back on the field again. For what? For garbage
Zappy
time.
sucks too.
And Zap, those two, get rid of it. They're not the answer. They're not number 3. There's no reason to look at them ever again. To
be fair, Cook's touchdown pass to Quincy Skinner Jr. was beautiful. That was all right, nice. You earned a practice squad spot for this, but you're never gonna go anywhere with
at
it.
Best. But did we need to see that in game 2 when there's only a 3-game preseason? Yeah. Did we need? We could have brought somebody else in.
Yep.
Give somebody else a shot. Who knows? Catch lightning in a bottle. That's what preseason is for.
Yep.
So a couple of those decisions were head scratching, pulling Klubnik, after 2 series in game 1. What was the why did you do that? That was just pointless. But again, and to Bubs' point, we haven't even seen the tight end yet. We won without Breece Hall. We haven't seen the full compilation, and we're seeing a very tamed down scheme. But even though it's tamed down compared to last year, it looks like we're a Super Bowl team. We've been champions of the preseason before, but this feels a little different because you could see the aggressiveness. You could see these guys are playing with their heads too, and the lack of penalties and stupid mistakes is all showing that. So
looks like you're buying in too, man. You're slowly buying into this thing.
I don't buy into anything.
You're buying in. I hear it right now. I can already hear it.
I'm not buying in.
Show me. Little glimmer of hope, little bit. It's there. I see it.
I'm seeing.
It's okay to
seeing
admit it.
Progress, but when you're comparing,
the ship is turning.
Season, yeah, but
he's turning.
Show me in the regular season past game 5, and then we'll talk.
Just show me week 1. I'll be happy. Just win that game.
We had a good week 1 last season. Week 1, we were all ecstatic. Yeah, it's the real deal, Justin Fields. And then what happened?
That's true. It's not instant coffee, though. You're right, Random Man. You're redeeming yourself. Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
No worries, brother. Good talking to you.
You too.
Look
at this, Bubs. We're starting off the show with a positive caller, and some of us, me, have a reputation of always being negative, which I have no idea why. I mean, they haven't made a playoff since 2010, but when things are going good, we talk about it. When things are encouraging, we talk about it. Right now, it's like I walked away Friday night. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Like we were so poorly coached last year. Like, wait a minute, we're actually being coached now. Like this actually looks like there's a rhyme or reason to what we're doing, and the players are buying in. So like, I'm down for it. I'm all about enjoying this stuff right now.
Oh, always nice to have a win. Always nice to witness a scoring drive. You don't see too many of those, so you won't see me complaining about scoring drive, albeit in preseason. It's good, and you just hope that it carries into the regular season. I'll say this too: that probably helps with the positive vibes. Salah's defense was getting cooked by Seattle backups.
I'm not going to go there. I'm not jinxing it because week 1 is Salah's Super Bowl. There's no doubt about that. So I'm not going to buy that. But the one thing that was a really good point you made earlier, and so did Ali, is the penalties. This team used to make the most mindless, stupidest penalties, and you're like, you almost wait for it at this point. Like, oh, nice play. There's going to be a hold somewhere. There's going to be some kind of stupidity somewhere, and it's not happening. Wait a minute. Like, you're like, who is this team? You're getting interceptions. You're not making penalties, and you're actually having quality plays. It's like they're literally a different team so far, it's just refreshing, man, because you're tired of being embarrassed to your team. You're tired of being frustrated. You're tired of calling plays. It's just keep building on this. Like Friday night, I don't expect a lot, but week 1, dude, you want to see a lot more of this. Yeah,
and the penalties is, I mean, between all the issues over the years with this team, you go this entire drought era, the penalties have been near the top of the list, and it was a massive issue last year. And what was so frustrating last year is Glenn talked so much about penalties, discipline, accountability, all that stuff. You saw none of that. It's been good to see so far 2 games in. None of the stupid procedural 12 men on the field, false starts, delay games, none of that dumb stuff that's just a sign of poorly coaching, underprepared. And that's something that's obviously got to continue. But yeah, the penalties are, if that can get cleaned up, forget whatever the offense and defense does, penalties get cleaned up. That can upgrade you and help you from just a winning standpoint in itself, on top of whatever improvement you get from, offense and defense.
Yeah, and this, to John's point, he says we're finally getting that culture change everybody used to talk about. You literally get it by playing well, playing competent, playing competitive, and playing like they did on defense. Like on defense, to a man, all the corners were looking back for the ball. They were hitting. They were flying around. It's like that's something we haven't seen in a while. It's like, okay, and when they do that, they all buy it, and they all talk about it. Attention to detail. Like it's like a different, like they used to be robots in press conferences and all their interviews. They just say the same old thing. The Jets probably told them to say half the stuff themselves, but you're hearing, no, this is what we learned this is why we do this is why we do that. And it's like, all right, you can see how the culture and the mindset in the locker room is slowly changing. Again, it's early, preseason game number 2, but it's tangible because you see the way they're playing on defense. It's a much different style.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been good to see. And I think too, with just the defensive, I guess, positives too, it's been from some of these newcomers, which is all guys that the Jets talked about bringing in that fit their scheme, fit what Glenn wants to do, fit the holes on this defense from a run defensive perspective. You bring in a handful of run stoppers. From a playmaking perspective, you've seen that on display. You've seen guys like Dane Belton, tackling perspective, you've seen that improve. Discipline, as we just got done talking about. So yeah, the new faces are making plays. They look more organized. And that's the biggest thing all you can ask for is just competency. They don't need to be elite. They don't need to be the top of the league in offense and defense, just competency. Just be average.
Yeah, the comment is rather have Salah than Glenn. I'm so that 1,000% disagree with you. I'm not Aaron Glenn's biggest fan, but I'd rather give Aaron Glenn the chance to improve and redeem himself over having Salah here, which we know exactly what he is, and that's a bad head coach.
Yeah,
I'm past that Salah experience going not end well in Tennessee. There's no way.
No, I mean, Salah stinks. Glenn right now is a 3-win head coach, so Glenn has a lot to prove. You're not picking through the greatest coaches right there, but yeah, I mean, what we know about Salah, he's awful.
Yeah, he's horrendous. All right,
and he's never going to change. It's the same thing we're seeing right now.
Do you want a nice, intelligent call, maybe a little bickering back and forth, or would you like just a taste of chaos to kind of disrupt our flow of the show?
Let's go intelligent.
Oh shit, that's a tough one then. What's up, man?
Hi, Bubs.
How's it going?
So I knew that was pointed towards me. So
what are you talking about? He said,
never mind.
I brought you on next.
I know.
So how you have to be feeling good about life right now. The Jets look like they're playing some inspired football. The ship is turning slowly. The water's moving.
But hey, we're seeing some competent. We're seeing a professional team.
Yeah, we're seeing your haircut.
Yeah, you like it, huh?
Well, you're
You
getting
get
ready
older,
for you're getting ready for your season now.
You cut as much as you can, and then just hope it.
You're gonna be like Javed. So, Bubs, this is the stage of Afram. First, this is like week 3 of the preseason. He cuts the hair right before regular season. He calls in with the tank top on to kind of show the shoulders and the
I'm
muscles.
gonna get a hoodie next, so me and Javed could be. No. Listen, you guys made a lot of great points, and I think this is like they've brought it up. They wanted high IQ guys on this team, and it's paying off. Okay, no one talks. Hello, hip hop, hippie Bob Ross. There you go. Guys are not making mistakes with penalties. Guys are attacking the ball. They're buying into what he's saying, and hopefully transfers in the regular game. But they look good. They look good. Now that backup offensive line, I tell you that got me worried there for a little bit.
Not good.
Yeah, hopefully if anyone gets it, maybe one guy will fit in, and but if it's those guys is not have enough reps, whatever. But the poor kid was running for his life, but he showed some leg, huh?
He can run.
He
That
can
run
move.
was he could have got a couple more yards. Yeah, he's definitely mobile. He's got some moxie to him too, man. I just think he's like Bub said earlier, it's trial under fire, man. He is running for his life. Guy, it's just like it's not that's the preseason though. So you got to kind of improvise and do the best you can.
Yeah, I hope he gets a series. I hope they put the offensive line as one series for him to start the game.
The starters,
just the offensive line, and just
if you're gonna do that, play Gino.
I don't know if they want to take a chance like that. Who knows? Whatever. If they do, that's one series is fine by me as well.
So what would you do with Malachi Moore and Arian Smith?
Hey, if they don't pan out, cut them. Simple as that. There's so much competition here. Why do you think Cisco's playing a little bit better? Because he knows his job's at stake here.
Yeah, he played late in the game too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. There's no I know the guy behind me isn't better, so I don't need to play hard. Well, guess what? The guys behind you are playing harder than you, so I gotta, step up, and guys are stepping up. So what I liked about also after the game, the press conference, he praised the team, how well they did, but he still said
he wasn't
still got to work on the run and coverage. So which is good. So it's just it's never satisfied type of attitude.
I think one of the most impressive things like Aaron Glenn's done, other than taking over the defense and hiring Frank Reich, his handling of press conferences, his demeanor, his handling of the team is light years different than last year.
Oh, yeah.
He's not combative. He's very well thought out. You're seeing his personality, but he's very calculated, very detailed. He seems like he's much calmer, more in control, and more focused on. He's not even focused on the outside noise anymore. He was too enamored with it last year. This year, it's about we have to improve and get better. That's it. But it's just different, dude.
He's in his comfort zone now. He's doing what he knows best, what got him there, and that's I've always said we always talked about how we always want an offensive guy because he'll groom the quarterback and he'll be calling the plays. Well, it works both ways. The defensive guy could be the head coach and call the defensive plays, and he's in his comfort zone now. He's got a veteran. Hey, Curtis, he's got a veteran offensive coordinator, which I think we should have had last year, and he should have called it, right?
100%.
Hindsight is 2020. I think he tried to do too much, and with a team that maybe didn't believe in him or didn't believe the scheme or whatever. So tides are turning. I never cut my.
You know what's interesting, Bubs? What I find interesting about Afram, he could be in the middle of a very detailed, well thought out comment for us. And he has time to talk to his fans in the chat. He'll be like, well, I think Frank Reich is very good. Hey, Curtis.
Someone says hi to me, I'm going to say hi.
But you admit, this is why you're like an excellent podcaster and YouTuber, because you can just flow with it and just
can't roll
shout out your fans. Like, Bubs, are you impressed by that?
Yeah, that's easy. I can say hi.
Good.
I just can't roll like you do and just constantly and Bubs. First of all, all kidding aside, dude, you are knocking it out of the park every week.
Well, thank you.
Not you. Bubs,
I'm like it.
you bring it to the table every stream, man. You're doing great.
He is.
Thank you.
I'm telling you,
Appreciate that.
just nonstop. It just flows with you, knowing what's going on, and you've gone from here up here. You're just with loaded of confidence. Keep up that work, man. It's paying off.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's got to be more critical of the bad callers, though. He can't be friends with everybody. This is not a friendly channel. We were about.
He can't be like you.
No, but he's got to be honest.
No. He argues. He's argued. You know, he's mentioned these talks, but he won't argue. He'll debate with them and bring his point out. He's not going to yell at them. Well, he's not going to do one of these like you do. Oh, wait a minute. Did you just say what you just said? You know.
No, Bubs is crushing. What I like about
That's
Bubs
right,
is
Romeo.
Bubs is always good because like whenever I try to go down a wrong path, he starts breaking out stats and kind of brings me back in. He's like, no, this stat and that stat and this stat. I'm like,
It's
okay,
amazing.
fair enough.
It's like he brought the stat up, that we were. I think it was PFF score was.
Yeah.
The whole team. The Jets are top on the preseason, even though it's just 2 games. But you know something, a little bit of the positivity there. A little positive. We don't know. We still didn't get our Sadiq in the game.
Yeah, but to be fair, whoever said the Jets are the top linebacking group around is ridiculous. That's not even remotely the case.
Well,
I don't know what the hell game they're watching or what players they're watching, but it ain't the Jets.
You know what was interesting too? When you see Bailey sack the guy, he just walks back away, no celebration.
Loved it.
It just goes like it's just normal for him.
Like
No
it's
gloves
expected.
either.
Yeah.
Was that?
No gloves either. It just
No
goes
gloves
natural.
Yeah. And he's slightly improved on his run game. I know he's working on that, so which is good. You want to see.
Thanks for calling it after.
Is that another bottle that your uncle left you that you have to drink?
No, I
Did
just
you
bought.
did you finish the other one?
No, I just bought this because it's like it's my last week being 29. So just
Okay.
Hmm.
Where's that other bottle that you said that you're waiting for the Jets to make the playoffs?
that's at the bar. I'm just
Yeah, I'm sure it's at
Covered in
bar.
dust.
What bar? The bar across the street?
no. There's an actual
Never
bar.
seen that
I
one.
was literally. This is a desktop. If I had a laptop, I would literally be just over there. I would literally show you the bar, but I'm not. I don't have it.
Is there anything left in that bottle?
Yeah.
Because last time there was like a sliver of
Yeah, it was like a spit.
spit.
It was.
I'm just trying. By the way, do you notice anything different?
You made your bed.
No, you ever know that
I
my
say the same thing.
no, you ever know my camera quality's gone a bit better?
Yes.
You notice that, Bubs?
You need more light in the face, though.
No, actually, I bought a new camera. I went up from a
Yeah, no,
1080.
the camera's clearer, but I'm saying you still need more light to your face.
Yeah, no, it's like the problem is it's like an LED light up there, so it's either this or it's just blinding light. So it's like you gotta pick your poison.
Okay. Well, that's Afram, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate
Thank
it.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
So how you been, man?
So this is the chaos.
This is the chaos that I was foreshadowing.
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. Just looking forward to football. Like I said, I got the big 3-0 coming up.
When's your birthday? What day is it?
It's Thursday.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy
Thanks.
birthday.
What are you gonna do for it?
Nothing really. I'm gonna go to an amusement park the next day.
Which one? Six Flags?
No, I'm up in New York. I wanted to go visit because I also want to stop by and visit some of my cousins in Connecticut, so I might stop by Lake Compounds.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So I would have watched the game, but unfortunately, I had a service outage, so it's like I only was able to watch the highlights afterwards.
We have one rule, dude. See, you can't talk about the game if you didn't watch it, man.
I tried to watch it. I tried to put on a radio to listen to the game try to keep the game as best as I could. But like I said, I can't control when my fucking my cable internet provider decides to conk out. That's not on me.
All right. So I guess give us your thoughts. We'll give you a chance to try to. What are your thoughts on the team, man?
Well, you know what? I do agree with a lot of. I do agree with Afram. I do agree with, this was a good game from them. It's nice. It's nice to see, none of the boneheaded mistakes. You know, it was nice to see turnovers. I forgot we were allowed to have turnovers. I could swear the NFL changed the rules, said that the Jets defense is not allowed to make physical contact with the football. Look at that, because you know it was nice to see that. You know, I do agree the backup offensive line was terrifying. You know, to see. You know,
wait, hold on. But you wouldn't have seen that highlight, dude. If you see the highlights of the game, you wouldn't have seen poor offensive line play. You just see the touchdowns and stuff. Well, how do you know the backup line was bad?
Well, I was watching them. Jets talk put up every every throw.
What was he watching? Oh, Ryan's.
Yeah, Jets talk.
Every throw.
Just every throw for every Geno Smith throw, every Kate Klubnik throw, and I was watching him running, just so it was not good, but. Like I said, I like myself from Geno's sharp, efficient, spread the ball around. You know, that's what you like. You know, I'm just glad to be able to have football. After the Knicks one, there's been really not much for me because baseball's just like a clusterfuck. It's a cycle with baseball.
It's a disaster in this city. That's what it is.
It's a disaster because it's like you have one team that has a good owner, but no matter what they do, they can't get anything right. And then the other team has a Nepo baby owner who's too afraid to make a real change.
Yeah. And we have a $100 million player that falls running the bases. Yeah.
I thought that Giancarlo Stanton thing was a joke tweet at first. I thought it was like a parody account. There's no way Stanton can hurt his other calf by jogging. There's no way that's true. And
it's unbelievable. Boone actually said that. Don't say it.
It's just like I said. It's bad. I can't. Like I said, I can. The only baseball I can watch is the World Baseball Classic at this point.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying it. I cannot watch Yankees baseball. That's how depressing it is. It's I cannot watch it.
I mean, wait, hold time out. It's depressing. They're still winning games, dude. They're going to playoffs.
Yeah, but
we're winning with young guys coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, we all know what's going to exactly happen in the playoffs. The same exact problem that's happened every time is they're going to make.
You say you can't watch them. At least they're competitive. The Mets are unwatchable. Now they have a little youth movement, but I mean, geez.
No, what I'm saying is I can't watch because I already know the outcome. I know that they're going to get. I know what's exactly going to happen in the playoffs. They're going to make.
So if you know the Jets aren't going to make the playoffs, are you going to watch this year? If you know the outcome, are you going to watch them?
Look, all right. The difference is that I know that with the Jets, I know if something goes wrong, they will make change. With the Yankees, I know no matter what they do, no matter what happens, they're gonna act like nothing is wrong, and they're gonna double down on every bad decision. That's the difference. That is the difference. Because at least with the Jets, I know that they can somehow walk ass backwards into the right decision.
Are you still playing the guitar?
Yeah, I still got it over there.
You haven't played for us in a while.
What's your thought on the linebacker depth?
She's gonna play guitar first. Hold on a second.
All right, fine. I'll go get the guitar. I'm not gonna plug it. I don't have my amp out, so I'm not just gonna grab the acoustic over.
It's fine. We don't need the amp for this one.
What happened to that guy? You remember that guy that came on and sung?
It was him.
For 2.5 minutes.
Oh, that was a different person, wasn't it?
Yeah, who was that? It was
oh, that's right.
That was during draft season, I think. I forget.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a special treat for all our.
Well, no, I'm gonna actually just make sure this thing's actually tuned.
That helps sometimes.
Yeah, no, the last thing you want
September
to hear.
by Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was it. Who was that?
That's right. I forget who it was though.
I have to go back and find it.
This is
Oh.
This is usually October shows, not usually August.
It sounds like this music's like the Jets' funeral music.
What is it? I have not played in a long time. I have not played in a long time. goes.
It's fine. We're just here. You're working out the process.
Hey, knocking out the rust.
It's a preseason performance.
Yep. It's a preseason call.
Hold on. Like I said, I haven't played in a while, so I'll just listen to that now.
Sounds better than I could do, man. It's just poor Bubs. It's just trying
This is an October call and they're 0-6.
This is when the Jets are out of it by Halloween. We gotta start doing this nonsense. Do you know what song this is?
No clue.
He's very committed to it, though. I give him credit for that.
Yeah. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one before. That's good.
But you haven't heard House of the Rising Sun? Who hasn't heard that song?
I've heard it. I knocked my freaking microphone out.
Like I said, I haven't played in a while, so.
So the question is, will you, for the week 1 game, will you give us your opening season performance?
I guess I'll see what I can do. You
You got 2 weeks.
Yeah, like I said, but I'm literally taking. I took this whole week off just to relax and enjoy the week. Enjoy, like I said, my last days before hitting 30. It's kind of terrifying.
So then you got to have your first performance when you turn 30. We have to have your debut performance as a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You gotta do new goals in life now.
Yeah, I do.
So what are you gonna do the rest of tonight?
I don't know. I was gonna smoke this, but I think it's a little late, and I don't want to be outside. It'd take too long to smoke this. I actually.
Why? What time you gotta wake up tomorrow?
Well, no, it's like 9 o'clock. I don't want to be out until like 11 because it's gonna take. This takes like an hour. This takes. I mean, this is just.
So it's an hour. Who cares? Where do you gotta be?
It's pitch
Celebrate
black
the
out.
win.
That's right.
No, I don't know. I want to just save it for a better moment.
A rainy day.
Week 1 win.
Oh, there you
I
go.
don't know. But
What you do, you save it, and when the Jets beat the Titans, you can come on and smoke it and play a song for us.
Well, because this thing is expensive. This is
Gives you 3 weeks to ramp up.
Wait, how much is it? How much was it?
This was about $20 for this. Because this is imported from Puerto Rico. They don't.
I knew it. I was just waiting for it. I knew it.
Well, because like I said, they don't grow.
I just knew it.
Because like I said, Puerto Rico's tobacco industry is almost non-existent. So it's only art. So they only grow. Only a handful of artisan growers still grow the traditional Puerto Rican leaf.
So how'd you get it from Puerto Rico?
Well, I said you got to order it on the. You have to go to the website Don Collins. And order it. It's the oldest cigar factory in the world. 1500.
We can't.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. But I buy these because these are the same type. This is the same leaf that my great grandfather would have used to make cigars for a living. And yeah, I'm just.
Are you gonna smoke one for the birthday?
Yeah, maybe.
I can't do it. I tried. Why?
I mean, I need something to distract myself because things are not going too well at home.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope everything's okay.
No, it's not. My grandfather's been shifted to comfort care.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, so it's literally it was it's about a couple weeks ago, and so of course I go to visit him. He barely talks anymore. Sometimes he doesn't eat.
That sucks.
So like and like I actually, and I did this because it's very important that me as Puerto Rican is I actually brought a big Puerto Rican flag and I laid it over him like a blanket.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Because it's like when he was a kid, you couldn't own one, and it was illegal to own the flag. He would have been, if his family was caught owning a flag, they would have been thrown in jail for 10 years. So, I do that for him because, I know what he's been through as a kid. So, I understand that, and I do that because I care for him.
Well, you're doing a very good thing, man.
Oh, yeah, no, because he was like, it was always fun. My grandpa was always a barrel of laughs. It's like, I remember like the last time I drove with him, and like imagine driving with an elderly person who was like, right at the time when it's like, okay, okay, take away the license.
Yeah.
It's like literally driving on the wrong side of the road, driving through stop signs.
Oh, I get it.
Like, just please give me this shit.
Yeah. Well, stay strong for him, man. You're doing the best you can.
Yeah, thanks.
And try to enjoy your birthday, man.
Yeah.
And you were giving you the open guest music spot for us. If you want to do a song and smoke a cigar for week 1, Bubs approved it, so we can do that.
I could always Electric Funeral.
Do you?
By Black Sabbath.
Electric what?
Funeral?
By Black Sabbath. I know that. I could play that one.
I don't think so.
All right, play that for week 1.
So
You got time to practice it.
Got time to review the film.
I also got to figure out where the wah-wah pedal is because I have no idea where I put that damn thing.
Where'd your dogs go?
Oh, they're upstairs. They're right there, upstairs.
Okay. Well, hang in there, man. Go enjoy your birthday and then practice your music, and we'll have you on in a couple weeks to play a song for us.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun, man.
Have a good one.
Talk to you later. Dude, there's certain things he brings up, you wait for it. I can't take it. I just can't hold it in.
Yeah, the Puerto Rican was only a matter of time.
Dude, it's just you see it in the chat too. It's like the worst thing is when you're talking to him, I try to ignore the chat with certain things.
Yeah.
And it gets the corner of your eye, you see it, you're like, oh, there goes that shit. It's like it's gonna be a disaster.
It's never.
What's up, Ryan? Happy anniversary, you and your wife, man.
Definitely some chaos there.
So the best thing is people that listen to this on the podcast network, it's like, oh, this is a pretty good Jet show.
Mm-hmm.
Then this last call completely just fucking the reviews get the shit. It's just terrible. So what are you gonna do? What's up, Neil? How you doing, man?
What's up, guys?
Is that a $20 cigar like V-Man's?
It's I haven't had the pleasure of smoking a Puerto Rican cigar. My son's getting married down in Puerto Rico, and I don't think I'll be going to many Puerto Rican cigar stores to pick up a Puerto Rican cigar. Although V-Man can give me some advice there.
You can import some for us.
Yeah, I know the thing, but I smoke 3 a day since I'm 24 years old.
No shit.
And I'm 65.
Good for you.
Cigars is my one vice, my big vice.
Good for you. We all have
one of the others is watching the Jets for 56 years. That's my other vice.
Well, that one probably kills you more than cigars.
Yeah,
though.
yes, that one probably has done a lot of more damage to me health-wise than anything I could ever imagine.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm new to your show and I've been enjoying it a lot.
Thank you.
I recognize a lot of names in the chat. I know Rich Snowball real well. Indy Jet and I have had some clashes in the past about Aaron Rodgers and such. But let's see. What did he say? What did Indy say? He had a comment right away.
He said that I must have shared the call in like at a truck stop.
There you go. Oh, all right, whatever. Anyhow, I was a big wow in that game. I got to tell you, it was a wow game.
Yep.
I'm very, very happy in what I see. This is the first time I've been this excited about the start of a season since 23 with Rodgers. When I watched with Jake, was in my seats and he started crying and I had to console him when Aaron went down. I told him it was an ankle injury. He'll be right back. And I knew he had an Achilles, but I didn't want Jake to jump off the bridge, so to speak. But again, all the things you guys brought up, it's just been great. No penalties, no mistakes. somebody showed a picture of a pocket that Gino had. You know, Joe Blewett showed a pocket. I don't know if you guys saw that picture.
Yep.
That, guys, when you have any quarterback that's a veteran, especially Gino, you got to realize something. Gino went through a year last year where as soon as he snapped the ball, 2 guys were in his lap.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true.
That's kind of like the year we had with Zach when we had that one picture with 5 Miami Dolphins running after him, if you remember that one.
Too.
When he was like running for his life. When you give a quarterback like Gino time to look the field over and go downfield for passes, anything could happen, guys. I am ultra excited about the trenches.
Yep.
The trenches is what wins games on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
I think we made some tremendous upgrades, especially on defense. The key with offense is we had these guys, and there's a value of guys playing together for a full season. We had no injuries last year on the offensive line. These guys played together, except AVT, obviously, before the season.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to add a tremendous amount of value this year going into the season because these guys have synergy together. I watched the Wired Up with Tippmann today that got me pumped. And these guys all know what, the communication on the offensive line is going to be real critical. And it's going to help us both in the running game and the passing game. And we haven't seen Sweat yet. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm hoping he's like a Jenkins type guy. And I think we're going to be worlds improved against the run. DeMario is a fantastic guy. And, he's CJ Mosley with a little speed as far as I'm concerned, as far as DeMario is concerned. And, moving Sherwood off the mic, I think is going to be a big addition. And I like the way they're tackling. Look, I haven't seen us miss a tackle, guys.
I know. It's amazing.
Defense seen us miss a tackle.
It's amazing.
That is, to me, between no penalties, not missing tackles, and receivers, even the guys that are on the bubble, are all catching passes. Nobody's dropping the ball.
Yep.
I mean, are you kidding me? I can't believe what I'm watching.
Yep.
I mean, that to me is a recipe. And then I watched the Titan game. I know you don't want to talk about, but looking at the contrast between what we saw, what I was watching there, and in a lot of other games with teams that are in our league, like Cleveland and the Cardinals and these guys, we're not that team. Nope. We're not that team. We're a much better team. Look, if we had a high-end coach coaching this team this year, we'd be projected to be a 9-win team.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you give like McDermott this team or Tomlin, they're talking 9 wins, 10 wins.
It's a 9-win team on Vegas, not 5.5.
Yep, I agree.
But one thing I will say, and I just got done watching Lavernius Coles and Wayne, and Corbett are back together again.
Yeah.
And Lavernius makes you look like the most positive guy in the world, guys. But he said, and this is what we've all been saying. He thinks we're going to win game 1. Yep. And I couldn't believe it came out of his mouth. But this game 1, are you guys planning on going to game 1? What's the scoop?
I'm not going. I'm going to the home opener. I'm not going to game 1 though.
Yeah, same. I'll be at the home opener, but not Nashville.
You going?
I'm going to the whole gambit. I got tickets. We're going to all be sitting together. Lou B has been a big contributor. I don't know if you know Lou.
It's a big party trip, man.
It's going to be a huge
Joe
party.
Everybody, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a takeover. We're going to take over that whole stadium, and I'm very, very excited about it. That's our Super Bowl, guys. Let's face it. We win game 1, and I don't want to just win game 1. I want to win it decisively, so the home opener really means something. If we win the game by a field goal, I'll take anything. But there it is. That's Rich, Snowball. We'll be sitting together. The wives will be there. It's going to be.
No, it's a great trip, man. There's so many people going. It's going to be, and you win that game. You come home to MetLife. Maybe you get a chance to beat the Packers. Go up 2-0.
Come on, that's it right there. And I want Salah's head on the plate.
So do I. Just blow him out.
The one thing I worry about. Look, I'm not worried about Salah. I'm worried about Dable.
Yep.
Dable is going to have this kid running a little bit, and Dable. we got to worry. This guy did he run a lot last year, this quarterback, or what? What's the story with the quarterback? I don't know him much from a college.
He's more of a pocket passer than he's a runner, though, isn't he, Bubs? Cam Moore?
Yeah. I mean, he was running a little bit more last year just because of
Because he had to.
Yeah, the offense line was a disaster, but yeah, he's more of your pocket passer. Just looking now, 159 rushing yards last year, and in college was never very big from a rushing standpoint either.
Well, that's a plus for us. You know, I would be more
we
concerned.
struggle against rushing quarterbacks.
I would be more concerned if Daniel Jones was with Dable and he was, coaching him. If he's going to be a pocket passer, he's going to be a dead duck back there.
Yeah, but I think the Jets will be better on the edge, setting the edge too. I think with Egnigbari, Osai,
right.
on Yamada. It's a different defensive line than we used to have.
God. This is going to be an entirely different contrast. And the one thing Lavernius said, and again, Lavernius, by the way, scouted with Aaron Glenn. These guys are real close, okay? And he made a good point. Look, Aaron Glenn is going to focus on the defense, and Frank Reich is going to run the co-coaches. That's what we're going to be looking at here.
Right.
And Frank Reich, to me, is a professional offensive coach. He knows how to call plays. You could see it already. You could see the ball distribution. You could see that he's setting up screen passes. I'll go back to one play in that game, the one where Klubnik got that ball deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
If he completes that ball to that receiver, it's a touchdown. There was 3 or 4 blockers in front of that guy. He would have ran right into the end zone. And those are the type of things that we missed last year. We didn't do screens. We didn't do tight end screens. I was excited last year in preseason when we did that tight end screen to the what's his name? He didn't play for us much. You remember we did a tight end screen last year?
With the Stone Smart?
Yep. And it went for a touchdown. I didn't see it again the rest of the season. I mean, come on. Angstrom was way out of his league. He was way out of his league. I saw that from the second game on. I was encouraged by the opener, but after that, I just didn't.
All right, our chat is questioning you now.
Go ahead.
Gator, good friend Gator. Hey Neil, why didn't any other team want Frank Reich? You sure he's that good?
Well, look, Frank Reich was out of the league for a while, but he had tremendous success in this league. And the one thing I will say is, people always talk about coaches being passed, like what the new game is all about, right? Yeah. But then when you look at the new game, you know what the new game is this year? Ground and pound.
Running the ball.
Okay. So if ground and pound is back in style, it's like bell bottoms, okay?
Yeah. And 12 personnel
are going to come back in style again. And Frank Reich is the one thing I have to say. He has had a tremendous amount of success developing quarterbacks. And he's a quarterback.
Yeah, but he did great. But also, we were so incompetent last year on offense. The Jets have enough playmakers now. If you just run a competent offense, get the guys open in space, let them run. They can score points. Like But sometimes football is not that complicated.
Right. I think that we could. The fact that we don't have a definitive. I mean, Mitchell's our number 2, but there's no definitive. Lavernius Coles was very concerned about them really just bracketing Garrett and coming to the line of scrimmage, but he doesn't see what we see on a daily basis on where we think we have a lot of playmakers on offense. He didn't really see that.
Yeah, but A.D. Mitchell, Mason Taylor, Breece Hall out of backfield. You got Sadiq when healthy. Like there's a variety, and Omar Cooper Jr. Like there's plenty of guys to get the ball.
Right. Yep. I think we're going to see, honestly, guys, I saw with the plays I saw with Sadiq in Oregon, he did a lot of even lined up as a fullback, he did jet sweeps, putting him in at, one thing like if you put 2 tight ends in, right, we're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets. You put him in a slot and then you move him towards the line of scrimmage as a blocker. Now you got a guy that could really, between him, Membu, and Tippmann, these guys could open up holes on the right side of the ring. You could drive a train through with these guys. So I'm totally excited. I hope Frank uses moves Sadiq into the and as a fullback, swings him out for a screen. We could keep guys so off balance, especially early in the season. We're going to be really, really hard to game plan against if you're a D coordinator. Think about it, guys. They don't know what the hell we're going to do.
Yep.
I mean, really, we have so much of an opportunity here. And I think we're playing the right team at the right time to start the season. And I think Green Bay is not going to have
Parsons.
Parsons not playing, right?
Nope.
So they're not the same team without him.
Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen in the NFL. The Jets are due for some good breaks.
Guys, we are so overdue for a great season. And I love the fact that everybody, not a single guy in any chat or any podcast has us winning more than 8 games.
Yep.
The only guys that have us winning more than 8 games are guys that are podcasters for other teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny. It's a good point.
Yeah.
We're all scarred.
The kid on Buffalo, Dan, what's his name? Dan Mitchell.
Yeah.
You know, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Dan Mitchell, they asked him, what do you think the Jets are going to win this year? Dan Mitchell goes, I have a floor of 7 wins. I think they could win 8, 9, or 10.
My God,
that's Dan Mitchell, a Buffalo guy. TD, the Miami guy, you know, he has high hopes for us every year, but he just doesn't know what he's talking about. And then the kid from the Patriots made a good point. He goes, you know, Dan, I agree with you. They have the roster that could win 8, 9, or 10 games, but I really don't have confidence in Aaron Glenn.
Well, that's the X factor. Aaron Glenn.
But
that's most Jet fans though. He's like we're like wait and see mode with him. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Okay, I'm gonna get one more point and I'll let you go.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Glenn is a motivator. You know, Lavernia said it. He's a motivator of players. Guys will go through a wall for him. He's nothing like his press conferences. Lavernius goes, that was not him. He's a guy that gets in with the players. Guys, he knows how to motivate. And the fact, if he stays focused on just running the defense and play calling and let Reich take care of everything else, we should have a great season.
I'm ready for it.
All right,
great
guys.
night, man.
See you next week.
Later, man.
Have a good one.
Look at these positive calls we have tonight, Bubs.
Lots of positivity.
Can you handle it?
Right.
Are you used to this?
Yeah, it's hopefully it continues.
What are your
Positivity.
thoughts? Neil dropped a lot of knowledge there, man.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of good points. Actually, one of his points was something that I thought was really good. And I was actually looking, the numbers kind of back it up too, just using Sadiq more from a screen standpoint and just more screens this year in general and actually executing screenplays. When you look at Sadiq last year, he had 13 catches on screen passes, 52 screen yards, tied for 3rd among tight ends in catches on screens, and he was tied for 17th in college football in screen yards. So he was near the top of college football among 173 qualified tight ends in the country, one of the better screen catching or screen receiving tight ends, if you will. So I thought that was a really good point, that screens got to be more involved with the Jets, Sadiq being a part of that. And just in general, like obviously what they're going to do from a run game standpoint, but more 12 personnel. You look at the best teams in football, oftentimes they've got some of the better tight ends in football. But even if you just look at the 11 personnel, 12 personnel difference last year, the teams that led the league in 11 personnel last year were teams that typically bad offenses. Like the Titans used 11 personnel the most. How'd that work out for them? The Jets used 11 personnel third most. How'd that work out? Tampa, New Orleans was also near the top. All that they both missed the playoffs. And then the top 2 of the top 5 12 personnel using teams, Seahawks and Patriots, 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl. So, and the Rams used 12 personnel a ton too. They used all 3 tight ends. 12 personnel, there's no excuse for them not to use a significant amount of 12 personnel this year.
You're seeing, the thing is, me too, you're seeing a lot of really good things out of Mason Taylor year 2.
Yeah.
The challenge you have with Sadiq, I'll beat Debbie Downer for a second, is he hasn't done shit the entire preseason.
That's a good point.
Missed OTAs. He had a week of practice. He's out right now. Aaron Glenn saying he hopes he's going to be ready by week 1. Great. He hasn't practiced. Does he know the offense? Does he have any kind of chemistry with Geno Smith? So you may have to slow play him for 4 or 5 weeks to get him in football shape. Get all, like you may not see nothing out of him early. Hopefully mid-season later on, you get something out of him. But the Jets still have plenty of talent. And even if you get Jelani Woods or Ruckert, but you have running backs out of the backfield. There's a lot of different things you can do. But the Jets, the screen game last year for the Jets was a joke. They couldn't do it. They couldn't complete it because Justin Fields was incompetent and Angstrom couldn't coach it. Play action pass was non-existent because they couldn't run the ball. So you have all those elements they could have this year.
Yeah. It's no excuse. They've got all the weapons. I think Mason Taylor and Sadiq really complement each other well, two very different players. And yeah, I mean, Jelani Woods is another one that has stepped up without Sadiq with more opportunities, more reps. Who knew? Let's use a big physical tight end with speed.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Go figure.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey guys.
How's it
So
going?
I'm coming around slowly with the optimism, but
Oh,
watching
look
that
at this.
game,
Are you going to say
game,
only partly grumpy old Jets fan?
well, I'm still allowed to be grumpy. I'm grumpy for other reasons. I think watching that game, the biggest things that struck me was it did look like a professional game. It looked like professional football. The coaching was there. You could see it. And what was even more interesting was it wasn't just the starters. When the backups started coming in, there were some of the guys that are like, who the hell knows where they are in the depth chart? Those guys were all playing tough, and they also weren't making stupid mistakes.
Nope.
If they missed coverages, if they missed things, it was probably their talent more than anything else. It wasn't like they didn't know where they were. They weren't sitting running around like turkeys with their head in the rain like we saw last year. And that to me meant something.
They're all tackling well.
They're playing with fire. They're playing. There's something going on there. They really, that part of the culture thing seems to be happening. The problem with it's going to be, does it maintain into the regular season? I don't know. There's no way to know, but hopefully it will, because that can make up a lot of difference on a team. If you've got guys out there playing at their peak or playing above their heads, which is something the Jets haven't done in years. You know, Saleh to a certain extent got players to play above their heads because he was good at using players, but it was a little different. Here it's across the board.
Yeah, but see, to me, it's like it's a style of football, a brand of football. Like when you play like with the Harbaugh Ravens or the Steelers or certain teams, you know it's going to be smash mouth, physical, nasty defenses. The Jets never really had like an identity on defense. With this one, it seems like you know what they're going to be. They're going to be more aggressive, ball hawks, fly to the ball. Like that's something it's a brand of football. I'd rather have that than just, you know what I mean? It just seems it's more because then it's like that's your young players, your old players that you know what your defense is.
And the thing about that is, I mean, again, with a good scheme, and the other thing is going to be here, I think a key, and you really can't see that in preseason, how they adjust. This is going to be a big one because let's say they go out there and the game plan is not working. You know, are they just going to stick to the game plan like they've done in these past X thousands of years?
But here's the problem. Aaron Glenn in his press conference, he said it 3 times now. I keep track of it.
Oh, no, he has definitely said it. He said that
he can make in-game adjustments.
They're going to make adjustments.
Like
you've
this,
also got guys.
right?
You've got Davis and Fitzpatrick out there.
Yep.
Things aren't working. They're going to go to Glenn and say, "This isn't friggin' working. We got to do something."
Yep.
And Glenn's going to listen to him because
the one interesting thing though is if you talk to Lion fans, the one thing they say about Aaron Glenn's defense, he's very, very arrogant about it. Where he was a lot of times he refused to make changes. That seems to be not what he's saying here, where he says, "I'll make changes if I have to because I know what to fix." So I'm wondering if that's just lessons learned, a philosophy change, or whatever else. But that's if he says it and doesn't do it, it's going to blow up in his face.
In a sense, he did though. That was one of the things that shocked me with last year because when he was with Detroit, and they had like 17 players on IR, and most of them were the defense.
Yep.
And he had guys who not only were backups, he had practice squad players in there. He had guys they signed off the street. Were they the greatest defense in the league? No, but they also weren't the absolute worst. He had those guys playing to a certain level. It got him pretty far. And that showed me adjustments because you got players you've never, who the hell are these guys? You know, I just signed them off the street last week.
Yeah.
So let's keep our fingers crossed with that. Looking at the offense, very competent. I mean, obviously that drive by Geno was great. They were moving down. They had a lot of starters on the Pittsburgh side. They were moving it against them, and they were passing it. And the other thing was they were running shotgun and under center.
Yeah.
Both with him and Klubnik, and they were doing different things there. They weren't going in a shotgun and throwing on third down. They could go back. They could hand the ball off. They were showing flexibility there. Again, Reich may not be, you know, whoever, Ben Johnson, McVay, he may not have all the fancy crap.
Yeah.
But this is competent football. He's showing something. They're moving things around. If they keep passing it, their running game's going to open up. I think teams are still looking and saying, they're going to run the ball. You think the Jets are going to run the ball.
Yep.
And it's hopefully they don't. Hopefully we don't go into game one. They get conservative and it's run, pass, kick because I get pissed off, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
They've got a lot of weapons. I mean, you've got, you know, you do have those number of weapons. Even if Sadiq can't play, Woods has shown some pretty good things out there. Ruckert has been a great blocker, and they need that. They need a blocking tight end, and he was showing like he was blocking like a maniac out there. So that's awesome. The starting offensive line, some people keep ragging on Olu. They're full of shit. The guy is good. Is he at the same level as Membu? The answer is no. He's not.
Not yet. No.
But he could be. But he's improving. He's not bad. He's not terrible.
He's young.
Yeah. And there's enough terrible left tackles in the league. Guess what, guys? I've seen him. He ain't one of them. He's
true.
league average, maybe a little higher. And that's good. I think my biggest piece of optimism in the game of all of it, though, was probably watching Klubnik. It's interesting because after watching Ian's analysis of it, I found myself really agreeing with him. Sometimes with Ian, I don't. But he was talking about Klubnik, and he hit the one thing that I saw, which is he called it the eyes. Klubnik is reading the defense, but the thing is, he's not doing it mechanically. Yeah. He's going through, he does progressions, but the thing is, he's not holding the ball, waiting for his first guy, right? He goes through it. If the thing starts collapsing on him, the kid is adjusting.
Yeah.
And this is something, this cannot be taught. This has to be instinctive. And he was getting battered around pretty good out there. This was not that second team offensive line. We'll get to that.
It's terrible.
I mean, the kid was like, and he was doing it. He was adjusting down. He was getting around. When he ran the ball, I mean, again, he can run, but the kid wasn't doing it all the time. He wasn't panicking in there. A couple of times I saw him, the pockets collapsing. He stepped up, and then he was able to make a throw. You know, it's like, and then people say, well, he didn't really have that great a game, whatever. The point is, he didn't throw any interceptions. He didn't. There was none of the crap, at least as far as I saw. Maybe I missed something, but I don't think so. The thing is, now, is he ready to be a pro quarterback? The answer is no.
No.
But you know what? What I'm seeing from him is the hardest part of the frigging game. Arm talent, I don't give a shit about. Zach Wilson had arm talent coming out of his ass and couldn't put it around anything.
That's true.
There's been a lot of great quarterbacks. You know, he could make all these crazy plays, but he didn't have that presence in the pocket. He never processed. This kid's starting to, and it takes time. And that's one of the reasons why the other big concern is they've got to get a backup quarterback in there. They cannot have him as a backup. Because if you put him out there, unless I'm mistaken, and he's really, really great, which I don't think so. If you put him out there in a game and he starts getting buried alive by a real starting defense, they're stunting, they're doing all these things, you're gonna wreck his
Well, you're gonna do two things. You're gonna stunt his growth because he can get discouraged and deflated, and you're gonna hold your team back by not giving you your best chance to win. Like the best chance to win is a backup quarterback. It's not him.
And then the poor kid's gonna have all the fans on him. You're a bust. Let's get tanked for next year.
There's no sense forcing it. It makes zero sense to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I'm hoping they do it. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know whether if they really think that Bailey Zappi or Cook are professional quarterbacks, then that means Glenn and Reich have really serious mental disabilities, because it's like, it's obvious to anybody that can see that they stink.
Yep.
Or is this, what really scares me is this stupid ass Woody. Well, we got him out there.
Man, like that. I think Woody's out of the equation completely now. I think if anything now, it could be the arrogance of the staff or the arrogance of the organization saying, Klubnik's a guy, trust us. Or, Frank Reich could say, trust, we can win games with him, or the whole, I don't know. But
I don't know. I'm hoping that the other thing was they're waiting to see what happened. They didn't really know what they had.
And kicker too.
Whatchamacallit. And then they have, somebody gets cut and they will get him that way. It's possible they're waiting for that. I really don't know. I mean, someone just said that he had 50 games in college. That's great. He's not like Zach Wilson, who had one season playing in a craps, whatever. The problem is, though, it's still a very different. Pro game is so different than the college game.
So, what's your take on kicker? Do you think they take a chance on one of these guys that have been struggling in camp?
At this point, the problem is Sanders has been all up and down. I mean, sometimes you look great, sometimes you look crappy.
Yep.
They're looking good in the beginning. My guess is they'll probably go with Sanders, but that's my guess.
I think really Cimini said York, right? I think Rich Cimini in his projection said he thinks it's going to be Cade York.
Yeah, these guys they're projecting whatever. My guess would be Sanders, but what the hell do I know? Are they going to? The problem is then what do you do? Are you going to pick up a kicker that's been cut? Are you going to try? I mean, and if a kicker's been cut, is it somebody that actually had a really great competition, but was competing against an experienced, kicker, and they just did for shits and giggle, brought somebody in, and the guy was good enough? Who are you going to bring in? There's not many experienced kickers out there that are worth it.
Studying kickers this week.
Yeah, I mean, but I think overall, I mean, in terms of the season, I'm not going to change my predictions. I said 7 to 8 games. I think they can do that.
Would you play? Would you play the starters on Friday?
I would like them to because I'd like to get Gino at least a set out there. Now I know the Giants probably are not going to have their starters out there. They've almost pretty much said they're not. I know Dart's not playing.
Nope.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of nice selling point for the Jets. You know, you can say he was afraid of their defense, but I think they're not going to be starting him. But I think they should, just to make sure, give him that last little bit of tune-up. You don't have to play him a series.
That's what I think. A
And
series.
then you're done. Let Klubnik be out there for a while. Then when the game really gets to be the toilet bowl with all the players that are struggling to try to make the teams, I shouldn't say that. These guys are trying to, they're trying to hook on or trying to get enough film that they can get a
But
job.
that fourth quarter of the third preseason game was brutal, dude. It's just
Even by the second half, the
terrible.
blob, as my son called it. And it just, you don't know who these guys are and stuff. At that point, having Klubnik out there, let Zappy and let Cook pretend they're quarterbacks out there. Something happens to them, you're not going to care too much.
Nope.
It's not. But the optimism again, I think, is coming from the fact of the coaching. There were no stupid mistakes.
Yep.
None of the Michael Clemens stupid roughing penalties where he'd be celebrating.
We're all grown up now.
They should be yelling at him. Nobody was making those. I mean, a couple of stupid penalties. Smith blocking a guy in the back. It happens. It's not a great penalty, but it's not that stupid.
I think he's got to change his name, Bubs, to partly grumpy now. He's got to change his name.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Maybe I'll put cautiously optimistic or stuff. Hey, Bubs, I got one suggestion, and I'll get off with your own podcast. You're pretty cool and light here with Tyson and stuff, and you smile a lot. Smile when you're doing your thing.
Yeah,
he kind of, there's a bunch of old guys on here probably know it. He's kind of like Joe Friday on Dragnet, just a facts man. Lighten it up and kidding.
Lighten up and smile.
You give by the way, your information, your facts are fantastic.
They are.
You're a marvel that
Appreciate
way.
that.
You're rivaling Ian. He's going to get jealous, but
he's got to loosen up. He's too tense. He's too tight. You got to just loosen up.
Yeah, loosen up, man. Because you can be like Ian. He gets loose. He gets excited.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much.
Do some videos from your car.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
Thanks.
The car videos. Have a good one.
No, dude, I love your content, but you're like on here, you're smiling, you're joking around. You gotta just loosen up and have some fun with it.
Need a V-man call to get me going.
I'll call in and harass you, just start bothering you, just so you could never fully dressed without a smile.
By the way,
yes,
free agent kickers.
It
was unfortunate because I like Daniel Carlson.
Okay.
But he signed with the Saints today. Anders Carlson still out there. You remember him? He's kicked towards the end of 24.
Oh my God, he hasn't played last year.
He was with Zerline, that disaster. He kicked like a few games down the stretch. That's his brother.
Oh Christ!
But McManus is out there. Matt Prater. It's not
tough
great
right now.
Yeah. There's probably other names that'll get cut, but
who's an excellent guy to talk to kickers about? Talk kickers with?
Random man.
This guy can talk kickers.
Javid.
When it comes to kickers, man, kickers and tight ends, this guy's
you guys gotta stop slapping these labels on me. That's how I get in and the call.
But they're not
bad.
labels. They're accolades. They're like compliments.
You're making fun of me.
How are we making fun of you? But you just said this guy can talk kickers and tight ends. Like, that's a good thing. I can't talk kickers.
That's versatility.
Yeah, you're giving me names. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't have any names for you. I looked at the free agent list as well. I'll wait to see who gets cut from other competitions.
Yeah, now's the time just to go through depth charts across the league, and whoever has 2 kickers listed, just pick out of that grouping.
That'll be me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because today's practice was alarming. I'm like, geez, they're both were terrible. I'm like, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
You're Bub, you nailed it. As camp goes on, you should be getting better, not worse.
Yep, they've gotten worse.
Terrible.
It's not great.
So, are you okay with Klubnik being number 2 quarterback, Javid?
No. I mean, ideally, I would. We'd have a vet, but I don't think that person's there. So, you just got to put up with what you got.
Put up with what you got. That's your answer. Put up with what you got.
What do you want me to say?
Let's just settle for less. Why even bother upgrading? We just know it's bad. Let's just stay bad.
Bubs, did I not say I'd round a veteran?
He said, "Put up with what we got."
Yeah.
I said,
Well-
I'm just. This is just acceptance. Do you? So you think we're bringing in a second stringer?
I think you have to. I think it'd be incompetence if they don't. To be honest with you,
No, I mean I agree. You want them to. Do you think that's actually going to happen?
why not? What's the reason not? Not money. They got cap space.
I mean we've kind of gone over this song and dance many times for the past few years. So
Like they should. I mean, we talked about this for months.
I
You
don't
want to
want-
give Klubnik. They want to give Klubnik all these
I'm
quality
just
reps. Cool.
saying.
You gave him all the reps. It's 3 preseason games now. Now you got 2 weeks to go find somebody else, the competent NFL quarterback. What's weird is that Andy Dalton's completely shit in the bed with the Eagles, which is just really weird.
I mean, I agree. I'm not saying I disagreed. I'm happy with the situation. I'm saying I agree, but I guess I'm not going to get mad about it until it's time to be mad about it.
No, I'm gonna be mad about it because this is.
I agree, though. I agree.
How can you not be mad about it? You got to be proactive. It should be about competing and finding upgrades. You don't want to.
I'm not
As Jet fans,
disagreeing.
we've already seen. We've seen.
Why are
when
we
you-
fighting? I'm
when
not.
you had no backup for Aaron Rodgers. We knew exactly what was going to happen. Zach Wilson wasn't it. We knew it. We literally know that Cade Klubnik is too soon for him to play. We know it is.
I agree. We're in agreement.
Doesn't seem like it.
No,
You have no sense
it
of
just-
urgency. I have sense of urgency. I want to win this year.
Okay, and I've had senses of urgency, and I've watched them not get a backup at all until our quarterback was hurt many times. And obviously, it's a different staff, it's a different front office. But I'm just saying, I said it before. I want them to bring it in. I'll make it very clear. I want them to bring in a second quarterback.
Yep.
That's all I can say.
Okay. What would you do with
I
Aaron
agree with
Smith and Malachi Moore?
I think they probably
We got
don't
him on
make
this
the
one. He's
roster.
thinking right now. You see the smoke coming out of his ears right now. He's like, "Ooh, this is a tough question."
I think I can see Smith somehow sneaking in as a gunner if Banjo really wants him. He did actually play well as a gunner to end last year. You know, he's got one thing about a gunner is if I was watching him on his reps in the last preseason game, and he was able to get off the line well. And when you have that speed, you know, you'll be able to. I mean, you really just have to get up the field as a gunner, right? And that's one thing he can do, where it's like running a straight line pretty fast, and he could do that. I don't know if it'll be enough to get him on the roster because it seems like a lot of guys are playing well in the preseason. A lot of guys could be pushing for the same roles. But if he did make the roster, it would be for that ability.
Your thoughts,
more? I'm go, Bubs.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they cut Smith, but I think he's here. I'd be surprised at this point if he's not. They seem to like him, specifically Banjo, but I'd be very open to. I would have cut him. I would have cut him last year. At this point,
you have to give him an NFL offseason to try to improve himself and strength conditioning and everything else and try to come back a better player. But.
Yeah, all seriousness. Obviously, you give him last year. I mean, I would have never drafted him, but you know, you give him the whole year. He's not.
This is a good point right here because Malik McLean was doing things on special teams and catch the ball as opposed to Aaron Smith.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. It's like Aaron Glenn always talks about versatility. Aaron Smith's like a one-trick pony right now. That's a really good point right there.
You know the team's gonna keep someone on that we don't want and cut somebody that they shouldn't have.
It's gonna be Jelani Woods. That's who's gonna cut. It's gonna piss me off.
No chance.
I bet you. Watch.
That would be
they
the one.
Cut Woods, that would be crazy. But also, if they cut Woods, I mean, I'd be mad at that. But also, it's like that would have to be a Frank Reich decision. So if he's the reason I think Woods would make the team is because of the connection with Reich, and he's played well.
Yep.
But if they do cut him, obviously Reich would have signed off on just saying like, well, you know, I know the guy, I'm okay moving it on. So I guess I would. I don't like.
I like Woods. I just have a feeling there's always. It's just I like Woods last year when they had him. They didn't use him correctly. Yeah. But it's just I had this funny feeling they have this. Muji seems to have this weird infatuation with Andrew Beck. They brought him back this year again.
Yeah.
He was playing the fourth quarter last week, which is surprising.
Too.
Remember, but they have that thing with him. It's like Ruckert and Beck. They both like those guys a lot, which is just like
the Jets posted a clip today. He caught a touchdown from Geno in practice. So he's definitely doing stuff with the ones in like a goal line situation. So
I'm rooting for Jelani Woods. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually, and maybe this might be game reactionary, but I'd like to see Jordan Clark make the team.
Bingo.
I think I saw some people saying, he'd be a nice practice squad addition. I don't think we'd be able to get away with him on the practice squad if he has good English. If he has a good game in the third preseason game. I think even last year when everyone was terrible, he also had like bad moments, but he also had a few. I remember last year during the shit games, he had a few plays where I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And I think versatility and kind of like a grit at DB is something you like to see. That tackle he made on the running back in the open field to stop what he made, third and one.
Yeah,
really like that. We don't get that, and he's not a highly touted guy. I know his dad wasn't either. Maybe he sticks around and he gets a chance and he shows you he has something.
Yeah, I mean Malachi Moore, for all the hype, Malachi Moore hasn't matched any of his hype at this point.
No.
Like that's the whole thing. If Glenn's really all about like accountability and earning your spot in the team and competition, okay, then how many safeties are you going to keep? And tell me why you're keeping Malachi Moore. Is it based on performance? Because he's had a quiet camp, and in preseason he's done absolutely nothing. He had the one tackle last week that made kind of headlines, but that was it.
So we feeling better on the defense?
I am. But dude, it's like we talked about before, dude. They're flying around, but they look like they're well coached now. They're looking back for the ball, but the tackling was significantly better. How many times with Salah's defense, even last year's defense, they're arm tackling, taking terrible angles, getting pushed around, getting blown over, no life, no emotion, no passion, nothing. And now it's like they just it was a team. Like first string came out, second string did the same thing, third string. Like it was definitely a mindset change with this team. It really looked like that.
That was something I really noticed too, where it wasn't just the first string defense making those plays. Seeing the backups, right? Even like you look at the backup player, you don't expect the same level from a starter, but you can do fundamental things right, even if you don't have it. That you'll be able to make as a backup, you'll be able to make every open field tackle, every one-on-one tackle. If you can wrap up and hold, maybe you give someone a chance to get over there. And those things that we never did as a team. I mentioned the.
Would you keep Jordan Clark over Malachi Moore and then ban us from ever drafting anyone named Malachi ever again? Yes,
maybe.
It's a great one.
I noticed on I'm still on Belton. I do see the discussions. I think some of the media people have talked about it where Belton's more of a box guy and so is Minka. So
Belton can fly around though, man.
Question. I mean, I'm not. I'd like to see Belton Minka start. I know Cisco played well, but one thing I really more noticed about the Cisco play was I felt like that's a play where even with Cisco last year and definitely the Jets before, like coming on a crosser, guys open, that's a touchdown. Like the safety doesn't see it in time, and it's just a touchdown. Cisco, and I think I liked it a lot. And it's simple. It's actually just proper football, right? Cisco, he sees the guy coming open, he moves over to take that area. The guy who was trailing Cisco, I don't remember which DB it was. I mean, I'm trailing the wide receiver. I don't remember which DB it was. He ends up seeing that Cisco's coming, then goes and takes the top side of the zone, which blocked off the other crosser from the backside, which made that being. I mean, obviously Mendoza was looking, not Mendoza. I don't remember which team were playing. My bad. I said the wrong quarterback name.
Howard, right?
Yeah, Howard. I was thinking
Howard?
of the Raiders pick.
It was.
Yeah, it was Will Howard. Howard was going that way, but we had both options covered off. So that's one guy rotating into another zone that the making up for the other's mistake, and the other one instantly finding the next spot. And that's a little bit of coordination that we have never really had. Like even with Sauce and the great defense here is with Salah, right? On the defenses, Sauce would give up the touchdown. Sauce gave up where like zone coverage things, and then he's pointing at the safety's pointing at him, and no one got the guy who just caught the touchdown.
Oh, it's fucking Tony Adams and Jordan Whitehead and all these guys. You saw Tony Adams do the same thing last night. Literally the same thing we saw for the last 2 years of him.
Literally yesterday on one of the Arroyo touchdown, the two tight ends like DB and safety just ended up in the same spot of the corner of the field, just letting guy run straight to the middle. So,
but I also think having Minka as a mentor in the locker room helps a big time too with film study, and that's like having a guy like that's invaluable, man.
Yeah, and if you can just do simple things like that, where as a team you don't blow coverages 2 or 3 times a game, right? Where you don't have those moments, right? You force teams to actually beat you by making plays, right? You limit the amount of times where you can just give away the game, and Lord knows how many times the Jets have given away games just leaving guys wide open for the
Or
past.
not even that, dude. How many times did the Jets get up a 3rd and 21, 3rd and 24, 3rd and 17? Like, get off the field on 3rd down. It's always a big splash play with a blown assignment. Like you nailed the job, to be honest with you. Like, how many times the safeties look lost? You see pointing. Oh, we always see them pointing. It's like, oh, he did it. That did. Like, we never knew who did it, but it was always a 1st down and like a big ass play. The splash plays, the explosives, all the keywords we always gave up. Get rid of that and you stay in the game. You get off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's to me what I need to see from.
Are we putting you to sleep there, man? Your eyes are tearing.
Oh,
You all right?
I think I got like, air in my eye, so it's just.
He's got air in his eye, Bubs. How do you feel about that?
It's my eyelashes.
Your eyelashes are in your eye?
It happens a lot, but it's literally just this eye. Ignore it. I'm sorry.
I got a question
about his eyelashes.
This is going to turn into LTR, right? Let's talk Rutgers.
Oh.
Who has more wins, Rutgers or the Jets?
Jets.
Thoughts on the quarterback decision today?
Which court decision?
He's not a Rutgers fan anymore.
No, I tell you, I'm not locked in on Rutgers football right now.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I have is my running back, my wide receiver.
It's just the kind of fan he is, Bubs. This is this
is where we need. If the Jets are going after any Rutgers guys next year, we need a comprehensive scouting port.
No,
I trust me. I will watch every single Rutgers game as I have for the past few years. No, I do not have the mental wherewithal to keep up with 2 completely useless programs, and I gave up on following Rutgers football intently. I watch every single game. I have not missed a game, but I'm not. If you think I'm following,
you're not following like the decisions. Okay,
that's not happening.
If you want to follow a quality college football team, I can give you some recommendations, man. If you look at one, just number 4 team in the country.
Join a conference.
I'm Tyson. He'll have, I'm sure, the comprehensive CJ Carr scouting report.
Every week.
But when we ask for the comprehensive KJ Duff scouting report, where are we going to get that now?
Nothing.
I got you. KJ Duff was the running back, Antoine Raymond.
Yeah.
Right.
Not that we need a running back, but
those 2 guys are NFL
or
players.
A receiver for that matter.
I think Raymond is better than.
He's locked in. He can't answer the last 3 questions, but he's locked in.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about the NFL guys. I think Raymond, he's gonna be better than Monangai and Pacheco. I think he's the best of the 3 that have come out recently. My eye is closing.
What about DT Sheffield? Jets caught him.
DT Sheffield. I felt bad about that, but it's what it is. I didn't really have a great affiliation with him. I think he just transferred into Rutgers. He's only here for like a year. But I'm big on KJ Duff. Even when like Strong was getting hype last year, I thought Duff was the more impressive and promising one. Strong was just the older one. Duff he's massive. He's got a big frame. I really like Duff. I really like Duff. Big 6'6" guy.
I'm not expecting much of these Rutgers evaluations, Bubs. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're not gonna get much.
KJ Duff is a quality wide receiver. What do you want me to tell you?
He's probably gonna turn it off at halftime and making their asses kicked again.
I watched us get our shit stomped in by Oregon.
All 4 quarters.
All 4 quarters.
So you saw a lot of Sadiq and Dante Moore.
Yes, I did, and I was very mad. I did not like Kenyon Sadiq. Not that he didn't play good. I was pissed off. I've gone to us getting our shit kicked in by Ohio State. It was not fun.
I was there in 21. Rutgers, Ohio State. I was doing my early scouting on Garrett Wilson.
There you go.
See,
gotta
have the scout. Gotta get the scouting.
2021.
That was the Stroud, Olave, Garrett, Ohio State team.
At New Brunswick.
And then
in Piscataway.
Yeah, Rutgers. They won.
I probably was at that game.
Yeah, and then were you at the? I was at the 1-2 Wisconsin that year. 52-3 Wisconsin won. I turned around in the 4th quarter. Nobody was in my section.
No, I didn't go to that game. I do. Yeah. freaking lose my mind watching us get our shit kicked in by Kansas State or choking in that bowl game. I watched Rutgers games. I'm telling you, Tyson, I couldn't survive following
Yeah, I
Rutgers
don't
in
know.
the
Honestly,
I
I
get
don't
it,
know how
man.
you
I mean,
can. If
Rutgers
I
both
can't-
those
basketball.
Jets fandoms got to be like the worst two fandoms
I
out
mean, I
there.
can't relate in terms of college football, but I understand the pain you must have.
There are not many Jet seasons that can compare to the pain of getting Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey in the same class and not making the tournament.
Oh, your college
point.
basketball team. Poof.
They've fallen down
They
just a
choked.
hole.
You have no clue. Like it's like watching. I watch the same team every year, no matter who is on the team. 5-star guys, 4-star guys.
Yep.
The team can't shoot free throws. They get lauded for defense, but they don't really defend. The offense has no plan. I follow Rutgers sports. I won't take that. I won't take that from you. But no. I'm
Well, so what we learned in this call is that Rutgers is not good at many things, and he quits on them when the going gets rough. He quits.
I
We learned
watch
that.
every game. I do not. I have never quit. I against my I've watched every game. I've not missed the Rutgers game. I've not missed the Jets game.
Okay.
I've not missed any of my teams except for the Spurs. That's because there's 82 basketball games in a year. I'm not watching all those.
Well, Javid, good talking to you. I hope your eye's better. Put some eye drops in there.
Don't watch Rutgers. That won't help.
Go wash it out. I'm sorry for.
You're good. I don't care. Have a good night, man. Feel better.
Smaller than the other one.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah. Good night.
All right, Bub. Somehow we did this. Somehow we did a 2-hour show tonight. I'm not really sure what happened tonight.
Another 2-hour show. A little Rutgers talk mixed in there at the end.
Some music.
Yeah. Some music. Yes. Got a. This is like the. What do they call those at concerts? The openers. That was that was the V-Man's opener for his concert in 3 weeks. He's got to be ready to go. He's got to watch the all 22. No excuses when week 1 rolls around.
You've dealt with his music performances before, haven't you?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do once the show ends? I got to go back into the archives. I got to find when that guy called in and sung Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's right. Was it last year? It was last year, right?
I know it was because I remember I was doing it from school because I remember vividly just dying, like just 2.5 minutes straight of just laughing. It had to have been probably was like December when we were like 1-9.
Was it draft season? It wasn't draft. It was during the season.
It might have.
Right?
I think it was late season or early off season. It might have been draft season too, because it does get to a point in draft season where, the draft season can get long too. Like you get to the second week of April and it's the same conversations.
Yeah.
It might have been draft season. It was definitely sometime between post trade deadline draft season. So like December to April. One of those episodes. I think
this is like
it was when everything was off the rails.
It's just this is usually we usually have like good calls this time of year, but V-Man he's like a breeder's own, man. It's what we deal with. But give out your channel information though, because your channel is crushing, dude. You got a little more less tense. You're doing good though, man. Yeah, no, I appreciate the support. Only 48 away actually from 1,000, so we're getting closer here to week number 1. So Bubs on Sports here on YouTube. Just Jets content all year round. Right now, kind of wrapping up the training camp preseason content. We still got my annual player preview series that I do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we got a few more of those. Camp recaps after each practice. Preseason, we'll have a recap up. I'll have my 53-man roster prediction for before ahead of this weekend in terms of obviously the roster wrapping up on Sunday with the 6 p.m. deadline, for teams to get down to 53, and then game previews, game recaps, news, all that good stuff. So, yeah. So apparently this was on when we were reacting to the draft class. He did it, and I guess he did it on Jake's show and Boy Green show too. So I guess he made all the rounds. He was making his rounds. Okay, so it was post draft then. Okay, I was way off. Here I thought it was like when we were December watching Brady Cook. Yeah, we had some rough shows in December, man. That's when it went right to complete shit. Yeah, that's when you just that I wouldn't wish that 5-game stretch on anybody. I can't do that ever again.
No,
I can't. I literally can't. I can't go through it again. I've been.
It was
too
just,
much.
it was dreadful. And it was so slow. It just didn't end. It was like 3 more games left. How?
Dude, the games lasted like 12 hours. You're like, how is it only the third quarter? Like you're dying to change the channel and watch something else. Like it was like a 3-hour punishment.
It was,
really was
literal torture. It was as bad as 2020 was, like that being locked up, COVID, that was 10 times worse. It was
that was the worst.
Something that I never want to experience. I mean, it was just pathetic.
They made me I actually hated them. I literally hated them. Oh, so he found it. It's reacting to the Jets crest, call-in show, 42-minute mark.
Okay.
I'll have to watch this.
Jeez, Earthwind. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Bubs upset is hilarious. Bubs gets pretty angry. We've been calm so far. Thank you guys for joining us. Tomorrow night I'll be on Ian's channel. We'll be doing whatever we're talking about. Friday night, 3rd preseason game, and then next Monday we'll be talking about 53-man roster, and then slowly but surely get into our predictions and everything else, Bubs. Yep. So you better brace yourself.
Yeah, 20 days away. We're Brees Hall days away. Next week will be less than 2 weeks. We'll have a 53-man roster.
Don Maynard days away.
Yes. It's a good one. And then next episode's the last non-preview episode. We'll do 53-man roster. Yep. And then that next Monday we'll be talking full steam ahead Titans.
Yeah, can you imagine? God help us. So thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you follow Bubs. How many away? You're 40-something away?
Yeah, I was at 952 last I checked, so 48, but I could be up as well. So
we got to get you there.
Appreciate everybody.
Thank you guys for all the support. Definitely appreciate it. Tomorrow night, Ian. Next week, we'll be back, and then the season's almost here, so we appreciate all the support. Have a good night.
J-E-T-S-J-J-J